quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live, right,
That's
Brandon?
what Red
We're
Love
live,
is
right?
all about.
Ladies and gentlemen, these gentlemen right here surrounding my facial structure, they just took the cake to the most rinky-dink, nonsensical, low-budget operation I've ever been a part of in my short time at JCW. Well done, folks. Well done. Okay, Brandon, kick us off. Kick us off.
All right. Hello, everyone, to Irish Whips and Arm Drags episode 42. Today, we have a very special guest. And without the episodes we have done on the show, what's one thing we have been missing? We've been missing some of that good old red love. That's right. We have the JCW American Champion and soon to be JCW World Heavyweight Champion at Bloody Mania, Mr. Father Bronson.
Wow, way to redeem yourself there, Brandon. Well done.
It's either that or Vito kicks my ass. I'm still trying to do redemption for Vito, but that's a different story.
I don't care about Vito. This is about red love.
Damn right. Y'all got
Either
some plus
this,
everything.
either this operation surrounds itself with red love, or I take off. So it's your decision to make there, Brandon.
All right, fair enough. Okay, Eric, we're gonna go to you. You say you have something to say here to Mr. Red Love.
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw one of his good friends last night over at Exodus, Josh Bishop. You know, you guys are really close. I mean, you seem like you were really close this past week on the episode of Lunacy, at least. I don't know if it was a little too close. I mean, probably a little too close to your liking. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Joshua, he's a great guy, right?
Right.
A little on the rough edges, so to speak, as I recently found out. I'm sure that the fans saw him put his hands on me, which he
Yeah.
will inevitably deal with because there's repercussions for everything, right? Like there's repercussions for you people starting this show. What was it, 15 minutes after initially it's supposed to be started? I mean, I can't wrap my head around this. I just can't wrap my head around the stupidity. I'm sorry, what was your question?
Um, I was gonna say, how do you think things are gonna play out at Bloody Mania next weekend? Do you think you're gonna be a double champion after Bloody Mania?
He doesn't think he knows.
More importantly, Red Love will consume the gathering as a whole. Let's focus on that because championships aside, I'm already good, right? I have the responsibility of an entire nation on my shoulders. The responsibility of JCW and all the jigaloos and jigglers and everything that comes along with being JCW world champion. Will eventually be mine as well. But the most exciting thing about this here weekend is the fact that Red Love will consume everybody in attendance. And it's going to be a beautiful, wonderful sight.
That's what's up. Look out, Josh Bishop. Look out. He's coming at you.
He's coming.
Yeah, he's coming. Mr. Bronson, so I have a question here to start the questions here. So yeah, I see you started training in 2015. What made you want to get into the wrestling business?
What made me want to get into the wrestling? I'm sorry, is this an episode of Disney Plus or something? I'm not here to
Yes.
talk about the inception of my career. What I'm here to talk about is what's before you, which is Red Love in its purest form. What I did to get here is irrelevant. So let's focus the attention on what's currently happening. Can we do that, boys? Or do I gotta cut things short? Because I'm starting to lose my patience. Right? I
You
think
know,
we could do a whole lot better than what did you do in 2015? I think we could do a whole lot better than that. Right, Brandon?
okay, fair enough. Okay, then how about this? How about you explain to the audience what is red love? Like, how would you describe red love to somebody who doesn't know what it is or what it means?
That's a fantastic question there, Brandon. Well done. Red love. Red love is that feeling, that tingly feeling that consumes you every time you're faced with some sort of a problem, right? Like let's say your neighbor keeps leaving trash on your lawn. right? Initially, you might feel a little frustrated, right? Initially, you might feel a little angry. Initially, you might feel like you've been wronged ever so slightly. But as time goes by, right, and your memory and your what's that word I'm looking for? Your imagination starts to wander, right? You start thinking violent thoughts. You start thinking about what you'd like to do to your neighbor, right? Red love is exactly that. Red love is that glimmering hope, right? That all of us want to grasp so desperately, right? So so those violent acts that go on in your head when you get frustrated, you need to give in to those. Because ultimately red love is what pours out. And that could come in the form of blood, that could come in the form of tears, that could come in the form of laughter, right? It's a variety of different things. But when you see it, you just know.
I got a
Okay.
question. How about this?
Mm, I like
Not
that
if,
answer, by the way.
not if, but
I'm not
when.
concerned with what you like, monkey.
Not
Okay?
if,
So why
but
don't you just
when.
go ahead? Hold on now, I can't hear you.
Oh,
So you
okay.
might want to turn your earphone on. That's the problem with these here shows. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? You got about 20 of you, and one is more stupider than the next. You know what I mean?
Am I coming out better?
I don't think
Am
he
I?
can hear you at all, to be honest.
Okay,
No, I
hold
can't
on.
hear you, monkey.
We'll come back to you. We'll circle back to you.
Okay.
I got a question. Hello, how you doing, Mr. Brad Love? I'm a big fan of your
Peeping
current,
Tom.
your current, stuff that you're doing. I'm a big fan of it, and like, I don't really have a wrestling question. I just want to know where are the bodies buried?
Where are the bodies buried? Well, you know what? I'm going to answer that question with just a form of advice, so to speak. First off, Peeping Tom, well done choosing some red to put on today, right? Because that's the kind of respect that I deserve, right? When
Right?
people interview me, they say show up dressed like Brandon, for instance, right? No class, no real understanding of what
Wait,
fashion looks
but
like. Oh wait, Brandon's wearing red. My apologies. I was just
Yeah, yeah,
distracted
Brendan.
by my own face. Why is it that every time I talk, I gotta see my face? Do you have any idea how distracting that is?
Get
Can
him
you
off the
change
screen.
That's
that
Tommy's
stupid
idea.
setting?
There we go.
Okay, thank you. Now, see, I can make the appropriate insults now. I
Mm,
apologize, Brandon. It's people like Eric that have no real understanding or appreciation for what red love is all about. They show up and they may as well show up in their pajamas, right? But we leave those kind of people alone because you can't help people drink the water. You can bring them to the water, right? You can put makeup on a pig, but a pig is still a pig, right, Eric? Right?
I wouldn't necessarily call myself a pig. I just
Or
happen to be a cat.
The paladin of light. Right? Take a take this guy for example, the paladin of light, right? He's dressed like Charlie Brown. Now why the hell did the paladin of light show up dressed like Charlie Brown? Why didn't you go in your closet and pick out some red and have some respect for what it is that I am? Right?
Some of us even dye our hair. We
Respect the
respect you
fact
so
that
much.
your future, your
Shut up,
very
John. You're a natural
existence,
ginger.
this entire nation is on my shoulders. And you show up in a Charlie Brown outfit?
He doesn't have red in his closet.
I hope
So
that
you,
answers your
Am I
question,
better
Tom.
now?
I hope that answers your question. And I apologize for raising my voice because you
no,
showed up in
that didn't
red.
answer it, but I'll take it.
Oh, you sure will. You sure will.
I respect you. I wear red. I actually care.
Even
Thank
Hobo
you,
has a little
Tom.
bit of red in his little
Thank you.
avatar there.
Maybe you should host the show by yourself next time
That's what
because
I was thinking.
everybody
Like,
surrounding you seems quite oblivious to what's happening.
mm,
They seem quite oblivious to the moment that we're creating,
Mm,
right?
mm.
Hey, am I coming out better now?
Yes.
All right, I got a
Uh,
question.
Can you
I got
hear
a question.
Monkey?
Wait,
Let's
hold
go,
on.
monkey.
Everyone.
Let's go,
What's
monkey.
up?
Shoot. What do you got?
Not if, but when, because we don't do ifs here. When you become champion, what should I expect from the Red Ring? What is the champion version of yourself look like?
No, that's a great question. That's a great question. And the answer is I don't know. Right? You see, Father Bronson is evolving day to day. The man that you see right now might not necessarily mean the man that you see tomorrow. Right? I'm going to be a more complete, intelligent, attention to detail. I'm going to be the most focused version of myself tomorrow. Right? And the day after that is going to be a better version, and so on and so forth. So when I get championship glory, like the JCW World Championship on this here shoulder, right? You're going to see a man that's fit to lead an entire nation, a galaxy, right? Because red love, there is no quantity of red love that will lead to poor things, right? Red love will never, ever equate to negativity in any way, shape, or form. I hope that answers your question there, monkey.
All right. Who would like to go next?
Great.
All right, Paladin, go ahead. You
All
gotta
right.
redeem yourself.
Oh,
Go
sure. You
Cleveland.
know, sure, Red Love. Hello. Hope you are well today. Well, yeah, you have a fan all the way from Europe. I'm from Ireland. It's a beautiful country. It's
Wonderful.
beautiful. Yeah,
Wonderful.
we support Red Love, you know. Now,
Sounds like a great place.
yeah. Oh, it is beautiful. Beautiful. Now, I'm a paladin of the light. Yes, I follow a different path. Not exactly like Red Love, but can the paladin of the light and Red Love coexist? Can we be side by side?
Well, it depends. You got a red shirt, because that's a start, right?
Yeah. I need
You
to
know, you
change.
being the
I mean,
fan, you being the fan that you claim to be, I would have expected
well,
more from you, Mr.
surely,
Light. I
surely,
would have expected some sort of a tie or a hat or something of some significance. Right now,
yes.
everything that consumes you, everything that you are is insignificant, which is exactly why it is that you need to drop this whole pattern of life thing and just give in to real love, right? Change your life, change your stars, change the nonsensical things that float around in your head all day, and really just find some guidance. Now, I don't know if I answered your question, but I sure as hell know that I told you everything it is that you need to hear. And I can tell that just by looking at you. All right, next question.
Amen, brother. All right, Justin, go ahead.
All right, Father Bronson. What gives Red Love power to succeed and flourish?
Fantastic question, Justin. Well done. What does red love run on? Red love runs on the tales of the broken, right?
Mm.
Red love runs on the joy of the children. Red love runs on the on the psychotic things that float around your head when your neighbor leaves trash on your lawn.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
variety of different things that red love runs on, right?
Oh yeah.
And right now it's running on American muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm talking about this here JCW championship because
Yeah.
that's not a responsibility that I take lightly. You see, I'm willing to do everything that needs to be done to keep America strong.
Yeah.
And that's what needs to be done, right? And the only way to achieve America at its peak form is to dose it and just completely cover it in red love. You
Red
know
Love
what
to
I mean?
flourish.
You know what I mean, Justin?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Preach.
Okay, next.
All right, here's my
Okay,
first. What
I
is
think I
your
got one. I
what's your
got one.
partnership with Vince Russo?
Who said that? Which one
Not
you
me.
said? Go ahead. What was it? Say that
Yeah,
again.
Hobo was talking and then Brendan was talking, so y'all need to choose who's going right
Yeah,
now.
Brendan, you go first. Go ahead.
So, what is your affiliation with Vince Russo?
My affiliation with Vince Russo. Well, Vince Russo seems to be one of the head cheeses of this entire operation, and I can understand why, right? He's been around forever. He's seen it all, right? So the most intelligent thing that Red Love can possibly do was to befriend somebody like that. And Mr. Russo, he's an easy guy to lie. You know, he seems to understand what cars to pull, right? Take this JCW World Championship for instance, right? Now there's a reason why my championship isn't on the line. It's because this company can't afford to not have a luxurious, beautiful championship on my shoulders. Now, either way, I would win the match and I would leave double champion. But because the championship match is only for Bishop's title, which is exactly the way it should be, because he hasn't done anything to compete with this, right? You think attacking me when my back is turned, right? When I'm at my most vulnerable, you think that means that you can compete with Red Love, right? It's just stupid to even think about. But Vince Russo, he understands that I need to be protected. He understands that it needs to be Red Love needs to flourish, whether Bloody Mania goes well or it doesn't. Does that answer your question?
Preach, brother, preach. All right, Hobo, what's your next one? You say you got one.
Hello, Mr. Father Bronson, and I'm wondering how do you think the Juggalos will ever fully embrace the beauty of Red Love?
Well, well, it's hard to say, right? Every time I go out there and I dress my friends, right? Because I refer to them as my friends, because that's what they are, right? I hear a chorus of boos, right? I hear some cheers, and those cheers are starting to get bigger as time goes by, because people are starting to realize that I am very much a necessary evil, right? And necessary evil, what is that? That's called love, right? Which is what we all need to have in our hearts. You know, every time I wake up in the morning and I see the beautiful sun, right? I think to myself, man, it sure is great to be me. And then I attack the day, right? And that's what all you people need to do out there. Attack the day with red love. Next question.
All right,
I
Dana,
got
go ahead.
something. Oh,
All right. I've got. Here's my next question.
Wait, hold on. John has a question. He hasn't asked.
Sorry. That John. Sorry.
well, it's all about spreading the red love and everything, but how do you
John, you're not
conflict?
coming in there. Can't
Oh,
hear
not?
you.
Ah, shit. Well, pouting. I'll straighten this out if he can't hear me.
I still can't hear you, John.
All right,
Hey, John,
John,
leave, come
maybe
back.
leave and then come back, and then we'll come back to you.
All right,
Yeah,
Paladin.
John, maybe leave and don't come back. How about that?
All right, Paladin, shoot.
All right. Who do you feel in JCW could be the biggest threat to Red Love? How do you deal with your threats?
Okay, boys, we're gonna have to cut things short. I'm absolutely disgusted with this line of questioning. Threat to red love. You look me in my eyes right now. You tell me what you see. Actually, you don't. Don't look me in my eyes, but open your stupid ears. Because I'm going to conclude this here interview with something that each and every one of you need to hear right now. Now, Mr. Light said something incredibly disrespectful,
Oh, I'm very sorry.
and he will be reprimanded in his day-to-day life for the rest of his existence. Red Love will never, ever be threatened in any capacity, shape, or form. And the very idea that anybody in JCW is of a threat to me is just as stupid as each and every one of your faces. Now,
We apologize. I apologize for them.
okay, boys.
I
Okay,
apologize for them.
you boys, you have yourselves a great time. Okay, thank you for having me on. And next time, I want you guys to come up with some questions that don't bring me into a dark place. Because I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Charlie Brown.
God
Damn
damn
it,
it,
Paladin.
Paladin! What'd you do, Paladin?
Charlie Brown.
Dude, what the fuck, Paladin? You literally you stole my whole bit. You stole my whole shtick. You made him completely crash out and leave.
That's gimmick infringement. You know it.
Yeah, you didn't let John get to ask the question because of
What?
this.
This has got to be the worst interview I've ever done.
Bro, what the fuck happened?
Wait, what happened?
I'm just a little curious about
It was gimmick infringement.
You
He
never
stole-
ask Father Bronson if he feels threatened by someone. You know why? You want to know what the answer is? How does he deal with them when he feels threatened? With red love, damn it! With red fucking love!
I was probably gonna
Everything
piss him
got
off
chance to
too
piss
because
him
I
off.
was gonna ask him, how do you square love with having to kick some ass? You know,
Wait, what
you gotta. How do you do both? Educate me.
What I missed, guys?
Oh, Paladin pissed him off.
Yeah,
Paladin
Paladin just ruined the show.
Paladin stole Eric's whole gimmick.
I gave Eric that gimmick with the veto.
I know.
Oh, Eric, your mic's muted. Try again. There you
Eric and me are running wild.
Here, can you hear me now?
go. Try again. Take-
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. No, I mean, at least Vito stayed on the whole episode.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Barnabas.
And
I
Barnabas.
even accidentally.
And Barnabas, I may throw up.
Hey, I'm not gonna say I did this intentionally, but Tommy, I also happened to be using a red cup just now when I was doing my yard work before this. So we even had. Yeah, I could have gotten a
Can you at
cane.
least message him just to make sure, like everything's all good?
Tom, am I doing that or you're doing that?
Um,
Tommy, you're doing it because you made the contact.
There
Yeah.
you go.
all
Red
right.
love.
So, what do we do with the other 38 minutes? Because I thought this was going to be an hour-long interview.
All right, I'll get the topics there.
I've been down for 20 minutes at least.
Right.
Could have been shorter.
at least got to. Boy,
Okay.
I didn't think.
I got a message. He has other commitments in the either world, the other
No,
world.
he hates Paladin.
Yeah,
That's all.
You with the Charlie Brown.
he hates
Well,
Paladin, but he's also got to go make blood sacrifices now because Paladin pissed him off. So
Oh
Yeah, well,
shit!
To be honest,
The
we would have had him
Charlie Brown
longer. If,
that's why I
Damn
didn't go
Irish.
into detail. I just know he's gonna be doing some voodoo or some shit. You
He's
know,
booking a
All
flight
right,
to
so
Ireland.
if
right
Paladin
now.
does not show up and you randomly see some news story that, some random guy is just like staked up on his wall.
yeah.
By
If
a
we hear
voodoo
about
ball.
some Irishmen,
Slaughter in Ireland, an entire town horrified.
Well, now I know what angles we're doing for Bloody Mania. We're gonna do Eric versus Vito with the NWA belt, and Ana versus Father Bronson. Actually, no, Ana, you're gonna be in the fatal four-way.
I want Eric to do the whole like Gilbert entrance, like he tries to be real badass coming in
did
and
we
he's
lose?
sprayed with a fire extinguisher and shit. He's like, ah.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Hey, my bad, I was dealing with something, but did we lose Bronson?
Let's just
Paladin-
say, yeah,
Paladin
Ana-
made him crash out,
Read the private.
and he
chat.
left.
Oh dear. The man of the light fighting red love. That's gonna be weird.
Good fucking job, Paladin.
Paladin, it's not that hard. You could have just said, "Would you accept
All you
light
had to
red
do-
because
all you-
it's Paladin of light and red?" There you go.
No, all Paladin had to do was not ask him about a threat. I actually had a decent question up next for him. I was going to ask him about the fact that he invited Austin Creed to JCW. That's a fucking match I would like to see, Paladin.
But he would just want to spread
Damn
love.
it,
He wouldn't want
Paladin.
to fight me, buddy.
Damn it, man.
Not watched a single. You know what? I'm done.
Hey,
All
let me
right,
call
what's
you
the
guys
topics?
back. I got
Topics. Okay.
What happened, Tommy?
hello.
Hello?
Oh. All right, I got
I haven't
topics.
called in a while.
All right, so let's
listen-
start.
all right, so let's
Bring a sub. Yeah, bring a sub for sure. I
Okay.
need a second sub.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the Chelsea.
I got you. I got you. I'll send it back.
From what happened last night.
Or I'll deliver it to you, rather.
I got my turn.
Yeah, I mean,
monkey,
I'll have a
monkey. We're
conversation.
trying to run a fucking show, bro.
I mean, okay, so for Chelsea Gray's injury,
All right.
I have a conspiracy theory about Chelsea Green's injury here. So, if you guys recall, at SummerSlam, she thanked Michael Hayes in her post-match speech, right?
Yes.
And we
Very
all know
loosely.
Yeah.
and we all know Michael Hayes openly said in season 2 Unreal that he's not a fan of Chelsea and didn't see her to be in that main event scene for the women's division.
Yeah.
Could Michael felt embarrassed after Chelsea did that and had those women hurt her intentionally, like it was a hit job?
Oh, I mean, women just do that anyway. She's a hot woman, so naturally the rest of them hate her. They're gonna try and beat her up and make her less pretty. It's all jealousy, man.
Well, I thought it was a hit job just to do the timing. Like, I don't know, it was a shot, and then again, they had her lose her first SmackDown as champion. So I had a feeling like Michael Hayes did whatever he could to like really like hurt her momentum, and also teach
Well,
her receipt.
that was Fallon Henley and JC Jane that injured her, wasn't it? It was the fucking,
Not JC. I think
it
JC
was
pinned with the other two.
Chris's girls, whatever, the Fatal Influence, whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think, Michael Hayes told him sweep the leg and they fucking fractured her face. So, I have no problem going with that theory because I like here in the States, like women, they dress up for other women. They're not dressing up for some guys. Like they're trying to look like the hottest, baddest bitch to outdo the next hottest, baddest bitch. So then the next hottest, baddest bitch is like, "Oh my god, you're a bad bitch."
Tommy actually believes that shit when women say that. Wow.
No, these girls are actually looking to outdo each other, bro. And I think in competitive sports, of course they're gonna fucking take liberties and they're gonna take advantages, especially if Michael's hands is in their ear, like sweep the leg.
Yeah, or else maybe they're threatened. Who knows? But they have something here, and I'm gonna give Russo credit for this storyline idea. Like, how is it the fact that Chelsea Green has to relinquish her title, but Rhea Ripley does not relinquish her title? What is really going on behind the scenes with Rhea Ripley and Triple H? How come she gets to keep her belt, but Chelsea has to give hers up?
Oh, I'll tell you why. Because they're fucking.
Allegedly,
Tommy, you're supposed to insinuate it. You gotta make it non-legally binding.
But the storyline they could have ran with is everyone knows Matt Cardona is her partner. He could have came out while she was relinquishing the belt, saying, "No, this is bullshit. You know that it was a hit job. I know it was a hit job. This is bullshit that you got to forfeit the belt, but a favor of theirs is not forfeiting the belt." Then you can have basically Matt and Chelsea go after Michael Hayes and Michael's representatives on air. There was a storyline there, but they didn't do that last night. They maybe teased it a little bit, but they went Gunther choking Matt Cardona out, and that's going to be the angle. But I don't know, something to me, in my opinion, is fishy about all that. So, Eric, I'll go to you quickly here. Your thoughts? Like, do you think it was a hit job, and what's your overall opinion of the situation with Chelsea Green?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a hit job just because of the fact that I know that if they were to get wind of that or even like the slightest thing, they wouldn't put up with it. They would immediately fire him because that's putting the talent at risk. And seeing as that we have not seen any reports stating that Michael Hayes has been let go from the WWE, I'm going to assume that it was probably just what happens sometimes when you're wrestling. You land a spot wrong, you do something wrong, and unfortunately it leads to an injury. Now, thing is, she's got 30 days to defend it. I feel like the reason why they ended up doing this is because in my mind, I'm like, okay, you just relinquished the title. You just put the title now on Chelsea. 2 weeks later, you're going to have her relinquish it again. Like, to me, right, if you're doing that too many times, it starts to deter the meaning of the belt. As well, it starts to, what's the word? What's what I'm thinking here? The audience starts not to enjoy what's going on, and they start to lose interest.
And just won't give a shit as much there. Hobo, your thoughts on the Chelsea Green situation?
Mic working? Hello?
Yep, good.
Yes.
All right. So your theory It could be possible because it happened before in wrestling, especially if like, someone with big power does not like you a lot. They'll probably do whatever.
I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him?
Towards the end there. Hang on.
Wait, can you? Hello,
Oh,
hello.
there. Now
Yeah,
I can
there
hear
you
you
go.
fine.
Now
You
try
got a little
again.
muffled towards the end of your last statement. I don't know
Hold
if you're
on.
moving away from the mic.
I think the mic's moving by itself. Hold on. Maybe
I
stationed.
mean, now it sounds good.
All right, all right. All right, let me turn around a little more. Okay, is that better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
try again.
Okay. So I was saying, like, I think it could be possible that your theory might be true because, like, it's been done in wrestling many times before. Especially if, like, if a top person in the company doesn't like you, they will do whatever he can to fuck with you. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sent someone to, rough her up a bit. They probably didn't expect to injure her, but since Chelsea unfortunately is injury prone, it probably must have been an accident. They probably just wanted to rough her up, but they did it a little too much, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that could be a possibility.
Yeah, so
John,
that's
your
what I'm
thoughts on this?
Look, man, I don't believe what Tommy has heard here. They totally dress to impress men, and they get jealous of each other whenever one's impressing men more than the other. Then they beat the shit out of her. And a guy might happen to tell them to do that, but in the end, they kind of wanted to do it anyway. Let's be honest. They're all jealous. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Ana, your thoughts on this situation? I know we talked about it last night, but I want to get your takes on here.
Okay. Well, I did talk about this. That, yeah, how come Rhea Ripley gets to keep hers, but yet Chelsea Green has to relinquish hers? And we also have to take into consideration, okay, could it be that Triple H is sleeping with her? Or could it be a case that he's sleeping with Io Sky since they always get these monster pushes? What else could it be? I mean, come on. Either they have big dirt on him or they are sleeping with him. Because then you start to assume and start to put things together that I think you're having an affair with these women. That they don't seem to lose their positions at the top. And this is what I hate to see. Now, as for the hit job, I think Michael Hayes could have possibly done it. It could have been a vindictive sort of vendetta because this guy he's probably a bitter old man. When the last time he was ever fucking relevant was in Midnight Express. That's it. With the fabulous Freebirds.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot that he was
Yeah,
part of that.
and only the OGs know that. And
Yeah,
I want to.
and like he's a dinosaur now, and this is him being a petty bastard if he actually did do this. So yeah, there's still a lot to unravel.
Yeah,
and we just have to see what happens next.
and may I expand on that?
All right, go ahead.
Because this happens in the music industry as well. If you're then like I have friends who are DJs, and if Monkey was here, I'm sure he could attest to this. When there's a hot chick who's a DJ, and she's no more talented than the men or the other ugly chick who DJs, but if you're a hot chick and you're a DJ, you're more likely to get booked at some of the higher end nightclubs if you do a little sexual favor for the promoter. Allegedly, I'm not saying this
privilege in every
happens.
profession.
I'm not saying this doesn't happen in the film industry, in the music industry, or in the wrestling industry, but it wouldn't fucking surprise me because it happens in corporate America every day.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Justin, Goody, your thoughts on this Chelsea Green injury situation?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was stiff work. But yeah, it's blatant favoritism when you really think about it. Like Rhea gets to keep her title and Chelsea Green has to relinquish. It doesn't help that Chelsea's injury prone. But who knows where this is gonna lead.
That's very true.
Hey,
Now-
actually, there's a special guest I who knows something about being asked to injure people in the ring. Actually, all the way back in 1984, I believe it was. Yes, he asked me to break. He asked me to break. How goes later? Pontiac, Michigan. I was there, 93,000. When this savage asshole is smoking a crack, he does everything.
The biggest drug addict in the game, John. What are you pointing
Holy
fingers for?
All right, let's go to the next one here. Now, this one, Eric, your friend EC3 made headlines. So last week on our Patreon, there, EC3 was talking with Vince about these dirt sheet basement dwellers, Cheeto smelling, out of shape, fat, sweaty Betty,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
motherfuckers.
Yes,
Were
you cannot be 6'2" and 1% body fat, Ethan.
So last week was part 1 of the episode 3 brand on Russo's Patreon, and they were talking about EC3's health and brought up Nia Jax and saw this picture that you see next to him about her losing amount of weight. And I want to say, first of all, congratulations to Nia Jax. She looks incredible, and I hope she's feeling better and she's healthy, and Godspeed. And fucking fantastic to see.
Yeah.
So EC3 makes
Tommy, it is possible.
Yeah.
Well, why the fuck are you fucking making it about me, dick?
You could just say
Because you always are coming at me. That's why.
And,
Okay.
and this is
Nothing but
Samoan who
nice
lost
to
weight.
you.
He's trying, guys. He's trying. Anyway, Tommy, if I read
Yo,
EC3's
fuck you
quote,
guys.
if Nia Jax can do it, you can do it. So
Exactly.
I'm leaving you,
This is
Tommy.
just a backdoor story to
Okay,
just insult
so-
Tommy.
So EC3, that's what he had to say. Anybody who makes self-improvement, I'm all for. But man, they're just the biggest hypocrites I ever seen. Nia Jax posted a picture where she's lost a considerable amount of weight, and she just put a picture up. It wasn't some gym selfie or some workout thing. It was just a nice picture where she's like, "Hey, down whatever, keep making progress." Now it's like, wow, good for her. I'm like, I shouldn't do it. I'm going to just look. And I looked at the replies and the shit people would say to her. I was sickened. It's filthy. So now the question is, do the EC3 is right about wrestling fans being hypocritical when it comes to body transformations, or do public figures just have to expect that kind of treatment online? And Eric, since he's your boy, I want you to start us off.
Oh wait, where did Tommy go?
I think you got rid of him. I think
Yeah, he got offended by what you said.
Tommy,
Oh,
kicked him
he'll
off
come
his own
back.
show. What a jerk.
I didn't click it. You'll come back. Go ahead there.
All right. I mean, he's completely 100% right. Like, don't get me wrong. I know I make my comments to Tommy, but I'm just fucking with him. But it's like, then you got these other people that are genuinely trying to drive people to like a point of suicide, and it's absolutely fucked up. And the funny thing is that he's completely right with the type of people that they usually are. They're usually fat fucks that sit in their fucking basement eating Cheetos and Hot Pockets all fucking day, and they don't know their mouth hole from their asshole. And these are the ones that are hopping into these comments being all like, why are you drinking that? You're disgusting. First off, half of you probably look worse than Gandalf, so you wouldn't even have half a chance with her. Just saying. Secondly, she looks amazing. She looks amazing. She's doing an amazing job, whatever her diet is right now. She needs to keep up. She's doing a great job. She's lost an immense amount of weight. Seriously. And you can even tell that it's now helped her when she's in the ring because she's moving faster. She's moving smoother. It's overall been great. And I guess to answer your question, yes, fans are extremely toxic at times. Like, I'm not saying all wrestling fans are toxic, but there are quite a few that are a part of the IWC that literally just need to get a fucking life.
Agreed. And I said this last night in the show there. Like, majority of these people, like I said, they're not in shape, so they're not in any room to talk. And it's like, instead of maybe body shaming and talking down on an individual that's trying to make them more healthier, maybe you should do the same for yourself.
Exactly.
Maybe you do it. Like, what gives you the right or the privilege to do that to another individual? Like, shouldn't you, better, like, taking care of yourself and thinking what's best for you and not being a fucking idiot online and doing that? And what do they gain out of this besides short attention?
Hoping to God that they can get some type of virality out of it.
I don't know. I really
like,
don't.
I don't understand what the point is of doing something like that. Like, in my personal opinion, if you yourself are doing absolutely nothing to help yourself, that you have absolutely no right to go into someone's comment section and start judging them.
Agreed. All right, Tommy, I'm gonna go to your thoughts on EC3. We had to say about the basement dwellers going after Nia Jax.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, your mic, bud.
Yeah, first of all, fuck y'all. All right, I had to rage quit, fucking cry, and fucking rub one out, and I did like. Why am I getting booed? I'm the victim here. I'm the victim here. Okay, talk about body shaming. I get body shamed every day. Okay, Nia Jax, I'm sorry you're a big girl. Okay, and I'm sorry that also has a double meaning because you also used to be kind of fat. Okay, and I'm not trying to body shame anyone. Clearly, I understand what it's like to be a little overweight, a little chunky. Look, she's a beautiful girl. She looked like a heavy set J-Lo, okay? And now she's lost some weight, so good for her. But look, body shaming comes with the territory. Unfortunately, I'm not taking I'm not taking shirtless selfies for a reason. I mean, I do so that when I do lose weight, I can look back on it and be like, okay, yeah, I was a fat slob. But I'm not going to be posting that until I hit my goal, And I think Nia, she's been working in the background clearly because this happened out of nowhere. It was like we woke up one day and she had lost like 60 pounds or she just looked different, right? And, like that's honestly the best way to do it. Like she wasn't fucking like brash or like making fitness content. Like the girl did it in silence. And that's what I do respect about it. But at the same time, it's like, you got to nut up a little bit, like take the criticism. Because if this was a bodybuilding competition, if this was the NFL Combine, if this was the NBA Combine, like yeah, there are standards, and sometimes in pro wrestling, it's a little lax because you've had prerequisites and precedents to having some of like different body types, and I think especially post Vince, they've tried to diversify, and sometimes that includes your Mason Brooks, from NXT, like those fat dudes. I'm just gonna say it, the Kevin Owens, even though KO is kind of an OG now. There's a place for them in this business, but maybe this will. I don't know if this helps her career at all because I don't know what she's gonna do. She's kind of boring as far as a promo, but at least it'll longevitize. It'll give her some longevity on her knees and everything, And John's muted, by the way.
I just said it's healthier regardless of wrestling or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Her joints, her knees, back pain, all that's gonna be a lot better. She'll probably live longer. So, yeah, I'm happy
John,
for her.
we'll go to you. Not only I granted your wish, but we'll go to you next.
Yeah. So basically, I hate whenever people are general about like don't read the comments because like that was his whole prompt. It's like, yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of mean comments. I'm sure there were a lot of nice comments. There's thousands of comments on that thing probably. So it's like, yeah, you can always like cherry pick and be like, oh wow, wrestling fans are horrible. Look at these, 100, 200, whatever comments. It's like there's gonna be a certain percentage of people, and I'm not even gonna say anything like right or wrong, regardless of that. There's just gonna be people that disagree with you. And if you just take that as like, oh, the fandom is now toxic, then it's like, all right. Like, I feel like you're just trying to put the fandom in a light to where you never have to respond to criticism. Because I've seen people do this in gaming or movies or whatever, where they're like, oh, the Star Wars fans are racist, so now we don't have to listen to any of them. It's just like,
well, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's his exact take on it. It's more so that over the last few years, especially since social media has become a lot more accessible, people have just become brutal, bro. Like, and it's gotten to a point where it is becoming kind of toxic because you got people that are coming on there. I've even read some of the comments and they're terrible to read. And I'm not trying to like say that fans aren't allowed to have an opinion by any means. I mean, everyone's allowed to have an opinion, obviously. But the thing is that most of these people who are giving opinions don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, right? Like, prime example, that video clip of EC3 that went around like 2 weeks ago. We talked about it when Jeeves was on here. Everyone's talking shit. Oh, he looks like he's in terrible shape. He's killing himself. He blah, 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 blah. I just saw the man last night. He's fine. Not limping. Not nothing. It's this little thing called selling.
Yep.
Because the thing is that when you are in a match, right? Okay, we're going behind the curtains here, guys. All right, sorry, we're breaking the fourth wall now. So
Wait, AJ Styles doesn't like that. You shouldn't do that.
yeah, well, maybe his son should go fucking set up a goddamn ring.
Yo, we'll talk about that. Yo, we should talk about that, dog.
We'll talk about that in a second. Now, the thing, what I mean by what I'm saying with this is that, okay, if you guys are doing a wrestling match, right? And say the precipice of one of the matches is like, okay, I'm gonna work the dude's knee, right? If the guy's working your knee for like 5-10 minutes, putting you in fucking, figure four locks, sharpshooters, all that shit to try to make your knee hurt, wouldn't you think that probably would be a good idea for you to make it look like it actually legitimately hurts instead of just no selling it? And what I mean by no selling means that you're literally just going about like nothing's happening.
Yeah, no, I've seen people get crap for that, for how they doing the no selling, where they'll be like, oh, this match doesn't make any sense, like he just had his knee worked for 10 minutes and now he's acting like nothing happened to it.
Exactly.
So I've seen people whenever they don't sell it well, and it's like, now this match doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Oh yeah, and then it's like, then on the other side of the spectrum, it's like, oh my god, he looks so bad, why are they letting him wrestle like this? And it's like, okay, which fucking side do you want, god damn it?
Yeah. Well, it's probably not the same person that's saying both of those things is the thing. Like,
yeah, it's the low IQ fans that
well,
are
it's
like,
just like there's thousands of people, so like people are gonna have different flaws in like their criticisms.
Brendan,
I'm never gonna assume it's the same person.
That's just
Brendan, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a go now. You want to let you guys know. Thanks for today. Appreciate it.
Later,
Thank you,
Justin.
Justin.
Justin, we'll see
Be
you
safe,
later,
Justin.
man.
Yeah, before I go to Hobo
Don't
here, I
follow
want to just
that
quickly
motherfucker.
say something about EC3. EC3 even joked about with Vince, like, oh, I'm sorry, I do this thing called selling. Maybe we should bring that back in modern wrestling. Oh, wait, people forgot about it. Like, he was very smart ass with it with Vince. He's like, forgive me for trying to protect the business and do what I was properly trained to do. Like, he was like,
well, that's just it though. Like, it was even funny because like last night during Exodus, like he was doing another spot where he was selling an injury, and it was the back of his neck that he was selling. Even the EMTs, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. Like after the match, like he was just like, "No, I'm fine," and the EMT's like, "No, fuck you, take the ice pack." But like, dude, like nobody really seems to understand what it is anymore. But at the same time, it's like it's not something that from like a fan standpoint that you necessarily have to understand, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, like we're watching this because like we think they're kicking the shit out of each other.
Yeah, or at least they put on a good illusion of that. Yeah,
exactly.
You're supposed to believe it a little bit, just like you
Supposed to believe
believe
the
in
lie.
Batman or Superman.
Yeah. I like talking in kayfabe, even whenever I talk about this stuff for that reason, because it's like
also
more fun.
Also completely off topic. Tommy, you were gone for like 2 minutes. You're telling me you rubbed one out that quickly?
Hey, man,
Well, he was already pretty turned on by that hot interview, and so he was he was hair trigger.
When everybody's degrading me, it kind of gave me a little tug.
So you're saying you like
breaking news? Tommy is a masochist.
Yeah, there's
like
You and Gary
a
Morton
cheek with his boner during that.
Yeah, shout out.
Oh yeah,
Gordon.
I guess
I'm
that's.
excited.
I was gonna say there's something him and Carrie have in common. They're both masochists.
They're both masochists. Yeah. Now, speaking of masochists, okay, Hobo, your thoughts on EC3's comments about fans body shaming other people?
Well, when you're in this line of business, especially, and you get notoriety, it's bound to happen. You're gonna get the good with the bad. Unfortunately, if only there was more good, but it seems like it's a positive thing for Nia since she's already lost so much weight, so the job's already done for her physically. I mean, if she wants to lose more, that's fine. I think she looks even better now, like more healthier. So it doesn't matter what a bunch of like random retards say, really. So just
Agreed. Okay, Ana, let's go to your thoughts on EC3's comments, and I'll be right back. I gotta let my cat out. So take it away with EC3's comments.
Okay. Right. So here's my sort of analysis of it. Okay. Fair play to her for losing all that weight. She looks great. She's in fantastic shape. It's just that in the wrestling business, you know, you have to look a certain way. You have to have a certain look. Cody Rhodes has talked about it. You know, Cody Rhodes says that you have to play the part of a wrestler. You have to look larger than life. I mean, just look at all our favorites. They were larger than life, and they were able to pull it off at the end of the day. But in terms of like the internet these days, you're going to get it. Sadly, it's just going to happen, and you're just going to have to deal with it. But I do agree that the people doing this are just probably so obese that they can't even see their own dick. I mean, they have no room to talk. Damn. These people that make like all these negative comments, they have no room to talk because I'm pretty sure they are fat themselves.
Literally zero room.
But of course, you know, when I think of like, you know, body shaming and all that, I always think of like Scott Steiner promos, like when he was doing a feud with Samoa Joe. You know, he just go, "Oh, he's fat. He's looking at me like I'm a piece of bacon, like I'm a big Twinkie," you know. Or when he was an announcer, one of the TNA episodes, and he just goes to Team 3D, goes, "Hailing from Dunkin' Donuts, from the great state of obesity, Team 3D." So like, it happens. Like even like Scott Steiner was just like, "Fuck it, you guys are fat. You know, get used to it." You know,
and I mean, well, the other thing is, you know, it's completely possible for you to change yourself also, which I know Tommy's working on as well as everybody in here.
Speaking of which, I've started dieting because I am getting, unfortunately, a little heavy behind the scenes. It does hurt my back sometimes, so I've got a weight loss goal in mind. I've just been really cutting down.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, honestly, I started it just because, I mean, I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was too skinny, and I would get comments about it all the time. Like I would get comments about it from family, from friends, and it got to the point finally where I was just like, okay, this isn't working anymore, and then I just switched. And I mean, EC3, even like the way he's built right now, like that didn't happen overnight. Like that's over a decade of work. Like that man has been at 3% body fat or under since his TNA days. Like he is just insane with his workout regimes.
Yeah, there's aside from like the numbers of it, which I do think it probably is about the same as it's always been. You just hear the voice of all the people now, including the fattest ones. But also, there's the severity of it. There's fun ribbing about this stuff, and then there's like, you know, people who are legitimately nasty, and they will always be shamed, and you know they can have their comments removed or whatever, or be banned if they're really like being sick about it. I'm not like super censorship guy, but like if somebody legitimately says something that could be like harming to a reasonable person, then yeah, obviously you get rid of that person. But as far as like, you know, there's like, in other words, there's like jokey, fun comments that could be commenting on the same thing. Like, right. You know, I laugh at Scott Steiner promos all the time. I don't consider that like toxic, and I wouldn't care if he was also fat. Like saying, honestly, like a lot of comedy, like people say like, oh, you can insult your own group. So it's like, if you have that sort of mentality, I could see like, oh, I'm fat, like I can, you know, not anymore because now she's lost the weight. But like if a fat guy is commenting on Samoa Joe and they like call him fat or whatever, it's kind of like, oh, it's your in group or whatever. So all right. But yeah, don't be nasty about it. Just like make it like a fun thing. Be like one too many Twinkies or so, you know, it's stuff like that.
Yeah. And the thing is like when they do those types of promos, also like they'll go over them with one another just to be like, hey, is it cool if I say this? Is it cool if I say that? Like even something recently, I actually found out that I think is funny. The deathmatch wrestlers, right? Whenever they have matches, and I found this out from the Coker brothers. They'll literally trade off spots with one another. It's like, okay, so if you allow me, I'll let you. They'll basically be like, okay, I'll let you do this crazy shit to me if you let me do this crazy shit to you.
Well, And a lot of times you can kind of get ahead of it or like be self-deprecating, and like make that like kind of a funny bit. Like, oh gosh, I mean, Bret Hart's like an obvious one where people were calling him whiny. So then he starts like intentionally becoming like whiny whenever he took more of like a heel turn. He'll be like, "This is a real injury. I have doctors." And then like, my one little fan out there, Smokey, my cat.
Ric Flair did that. Ric Flair did that in real life. He was like, he was because he was shitting on Zeb Coulter. What's his name? Dutch Mantel.
Dutch Mantel.
He's like, my illness was far severe and way worse than Dutch Mantel. But like, he was being dead ass. Did you see his Instagram and Twitter post? And he was like, let's see if she still has it. He was talking about his ex-wife. Like,
I've seen that,
what every woman wants to hear, you know? Like,
right.
But like, I feel like even I can't remember specifically. I feel like I've seen a fat wrestler like make fun of themselves for this before, where they'll be like, it might have been like Mankind or somebody. I think that's what I'm thinking of. He was like insulting his own appearance, like saying how ugly he is and stuff. And it's like, you can make it humorous. So I guess it's whatever the person's comfortable with.
and
But
it's like, honestly, it's a day-to-day thing. Like, sometimes people are having a bad day, and then you say some shit, and then, you know, it fucks them up. And then sometimes it's like you're just being a fucking diva, you know, and stop being a diva. You know, it's like,
Speaking of divas, that's
Nikki
good
Bella?
transition to the next one. So this is an impromptu because we didn't talk about this last night, but it made waves, and we have to talk about it now. So AJ Styles' son, Avery, just recently made his debut at GCW recently. Promoter, hope I get the guy's name right, Brett Lauderdale, brought him in, had a match, but it was after what people were talking about. AJ Styles was there, you know, for his kid. A veteran wrestler, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I never heard of this guy in my life till right now.
Eric Cannon, I think his name.
Eric Hausen.
His name is spelled weird.
So
That's
it's not like R. No, it's ARIK. Yeah. So apparently, the day after this GCW event, Eric Cannon went on X and blasted Avery about basically he didn't pay his dues, he didn't volunteer, help set up the ring or carry shit in, yada yada yada. And
well, it started
AJ
off
Styles,
because Natty said he was paying his dues, right?
yeah, she made a comment like congratulating on his debut and was putting him over basically, and that's when Eric came in. So AJ defended his son, basically saying Brett paid him to wrestle, not to set up the ring. Eric tried to get Cody Rhodes involved by posting an old photo of Cody Rhodes sweeping the ring. And Cody had to chime in like, yeah, I did that, but everyone pays their dues differently. Like, this is bullshit. This is petty drama. So this is where I'm not a wrestler. Not involved in the business, but as a fan, I'm 50-50 about this. Yes, I do agree everyone starting the business should pay their dues. You need to start somewhere and work your way up. But at the same time, the kid did not know. He did not know. Like, you would think his dad would tell him.
No.
Or let me finish. I don't want to special train of thought here.
Okay.
Now I lost my train of thought. Shit. Okay, no, okay. Now I just came back.
Sorry. Okay.
AJ probably could have told him, hey, look, you're my kid, but maybe to avoid heat or anything like that, maybe go volunteer to help out. Like, someone should have told the kid and smartened him up, like, hey, just next time so you know, so you don't get heat and you didn't know, that's what you should do.
Right.
That's why I've been the bit. On one hand, someone should have told him, especially his dad, but at the same time, I agree, like, yeah, you got to start somewhere.
You're right.
Go ahead.
The way I look at it is, for starters, this isn't something that should have been turned into a whole fucking social media drama. It should have been something that was discussed privately and just handled privately. In my personal opinion, just because his last name is Styles does not mean that he doesn't have to pay his dues. Now, I can understand that those are apparently defined in like multiple different ways. But the thing is that if you genuinely want to work in this business, then you need to do certain things. Like last night when I was working at Exodus, when the show was all done. Do you guys think I just, once everything was done, I was like, all right, bye guys, and just left? No,
you helped out.
I had to. I helped break down the speakers. I helped fucking me and my partners were helping pack everything up, get the audio equipment back into the truck. The wrestlers were breaking down the ring and folding back up the chairs. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And it's not even a matter of that, like, oh, well, you need to do this. It's just a matter of, look, we're all here as a fucking team. And we need to work as a team and as a unit. So if there's one person that was asked, hey, can you help put out chairs? And instead of going to put out chairs, he goes and hides in the back for 2 hours. Yeah, I don't feel any sympathy for him. He should have known better. The second he was asked to help with chairs, he should have went and grabbed some fucking chairs.
All right, fair enough. Hobo, your thoughts on it?
Wait, one more thing. Here's the other thing. GCW is not some little small end indie promotion. GCW is hands down the biggest independent promotion in the world right now. They're the only independent promotion that is on a regular basis traveling the entire world. So in my personal opinion, I would like to make a good first impression. Now I'm done. I'm going to step outside now because I'm mad.
We're good at getting his heart rate up.
And I respect that.
easy,
You know,
actually.
we let people speak freely. I commented on Instagram. I kind of defended the kid, and I just said, like, look, he got paid to be there, and at the end of the day, I get it. You got to pay your dues. I mean, shit. I'm the type of guy to put up chairs. I was just at Monkeys event yesterday, and I helped him clean up yesterday. Like, I just do that just because that's the kind of guy I am. But I also wasn't paid to be there, you know. And it's like, I get it. Avery is a Nepo hire, but he's really good. If he sucked, then I probably wouldn't feel either. Like, nobody would care if he sucked. He'd be out of the business tomorrow. But the truth is, he's probably going to be in WWE sooner than later because of his connections. And, you know, I don't think that this is gonna ruin his career. It's gonna be it's kind of like a nothing burger to me. It's just like whatever. It's like Dutch Mantel, even the old school guy, was like, I wouldn't have done it. So it's really split the community. Some of the OGs are 50-50. Some of the guys in the industry are 50-50. Like it's very 50-50, and it's clearly 50-50 here too. So I'm curious to see what everyone else thinks. But personally, I don't want to give the kid too much heat. It should have been handled privately. I agree with that. Because yeah, making this a social media thing from Eric was a bad move. That was kind of a AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes, like all these WWE guys tapped in to talk about this. So that's it. Everyone just kind of made it worse by giving it more exposure, you know, just to, you know, one up somebody online, but whatever. What do you guys think?
I agree. I'm gonna go to Hobo here, but before I do, I want to add what Eric quickly said. Like that's one thing that Eric Cannon should have done was make it public. Like he should have, you know, texted him or told him in person. That's why I feel like in Avery's defense, I bet you his dad didn't tell him, or no one told him. Because like you said, he was paid to be there. He was paid to wrestle. He was on the card. So I don't think he was smart enough. Which makes me think, I don't think his dad told him. And in a way, his dad kind of set into the fire without realizing it. And I feel that's unfair to Avery, in my opinion. But if our Eric is saying, hey, no, he was asked to help chairs and he fucked off for 2 hours in the back, then okay, that's kind of a dick move. I agree. So, Hobo, I'm going to go to you. Your thoughts on the situation with AJ's son.
I'm 50-50 on it too, because like maybe he didn't know. Like I'm surprised that AJ never really, if he didn't know, like never like enlightened him on it. Because who trained him, by the way? Who trained Avery? Was his dad?
I'll look, but you give your opinion. I'll look into it.
Yeah, like because if it was his dad, you would think he would teach him the ins and outs of what to do in the business, because you know, so he could be prepared. But then again, it's like an old, I think you could just make your own decisions with your life if you want to. If you're just paid to be there, you don't really have to do much after that. But it is like a courtesy to, you know, help out around the ring and stuff, you know. But it doesn't mean you're forced to do it. Well, at least I hope not. It should be like your choice, really. But putting, again, I guess I heard you guys say like putting it on social media was a stupid idea because it's just gonna light the fire, get heat on this kid who's just starting out in the business, who probably doesn't know how to react to this because all the craziness is going on. And with the internet, things get lost in in like in judgment kind of thing because a lot of people on the internet is crazy. I know we've had our encounters with crazy people online. That's for sure.
Oh yes. So
Yeah.
I'm seeing here, Hobo. You're right. His dad did train him. So AJ
Okay.
trained him,
So
and
yeah.
that is
So
from
this,
onlineworldofwrestling.com. Let me give the plug to that site. That's where I got the information from.
so so AJ kind of missed the boat on teaching him that part of the business. I'll just say that.
I agree. You
Well,
should with a son when you are at these city dates. Help out. Like that's what I
Yeah.
would think AJ would have done.
He should have done it. Now his son's gonna pay for it, unfortunately.
That's
well,
very true.
Was this
All
his
right.
first show or
Yeah.
his first time ever being at one of these things?
One of those early ones. He started
he's
wrestling
like
June
6 months.
26th.
Yeah, he's only like 6 months into the business, I
Oh, so
think.
it's just one
Okay.
of his first few shows, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
June
like
26th, he made his first appearance at a random indie, but this is like his first show at GCW.
okay. So is it like, he's helped out at all these other ones and then he's just happened to not be able to do it this time and like like there's a lot of variables in this situation, a lot of assumptions being
Yeah,
made, I
we
feel
need
like.
more information, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like,
Um,
maybe he had something to fucking do and was like, oh shit, I gotta go. And it's like, oh, you didn't stay to do the voluntary thing. It's like, well, I can't always stay, maybe I had something to do. But so there's that element to it. And then there's also like, yeah, maybe he just hadn't, if he hasn't ever been told, I'm not even gonna call that a mistake by AJ. Maybe he was just like concentrating on like the most important things, like because this is like one task out of many that go into any show. You could have, told him a bunch of other stuff and then been like, oh shit, I forgot to mention about the chair. But I'm not gonna say that's a mistake by him. I'm just like, all right, yeah, you're not gonna mention everything. You're not gonna get everything right the first time, or like every little idiosyncrasy. It's
yeah.
so that's why I think it's a little bit overblown for people to be like, posting about it, or hell, I mean, multiple of you mentioned it, where it's like, yeah, private conversations, be like, hey man, next time if you have the time, can you stay around and help out? Like that literally should have been it. The person, I don't even think they should be angry, quite frankly, because it's not like an outlined. There's no way to know unless you have somebody, probably get mad about it once. So it's like, yeah, it's not my expectation to ever. If I want somebody to do a job, then I outline that clearly for them. I don't ever expect them to just like randomly volunteer for things. So yeah, I don't know.
It's not in the contract.
It's nice if they do,
Yeah.
but
And-
like I'm not gonna go in with that expectation.
Yo, welcome back, Monkey. And like
Yeah.
to add on to that, John, we're talking about Avery Styles here. I think we talked about it last night a little bit. But to add on to what John was saying, because I totally agree with him as far as like it shouldn't really be expected, especially if you are, one of the bigger indie promotions. You could probably afford a couple extra hands to do some kind of like, setting up the ring. I know a lot of people suggest that wrestlers should be a part of the ring setup, but that doesn't really include the chairs. And I think Stevie Richards said, a guy who with some real credibility, because I'm not in the industry, I'm behind the fucking barricade. I stay in my lane, as Vito would say. I stay in my lane. But I will say, like, Stevie Richards, to quote him, he's like, well, it's one thing, it's like it's not that many chairs, you should be able to put them away. But then you could say, well, if it's not that many chairs, why do you need my help? So it's kind of like, I don't know why they're bitching about it. Like, it's just a slow news day. There seems like there's way bigger problems in this world, and like, some people can't afford to eat, some people are fucking stressed about the fucking next meal, and it's like, yeah, this kid, he probably is a little arrogant and a little privileged, but that doesn't define, one bad day doesn't define him. And I think, he's gonna pay his dues one way or the other. And
Well, and you mentioned, Tommy, like that you stay and help sometimes, like volunteer. Like whenever I go to the theater, I'll make sure to pick up all my little pieces and everything and put them in my popcorn bucket and toss it, because I don't want to give them any extra work. But I don't like think lesser of people if I see like, a few kernels on the ground or something. I'm like, shit falls out. Like I'm not calling that person a slob or anything, or like belittling the theater workers.
no,
So I'm like, you can be nice, you can do extra, but quite frankly, once it becomes the expectation, then it's like, well, now you're kind of putting an extra responsibility on someone who is not even probably knowing that they're supposed to do that. So I don't know. It's yeah, it should have been like a one sentence conversation, quite frankly, at the next show. Just be like, hey, can you hang out a little bit and help pick up afterwards? He probably would have just been like, oh yeah, sure.
This could have been all avoided. There's communication. Like, and honestly, it's only just one guy that made a big deal, and that was this Eric Cannon guy. That was it. Aina, let's get your thoughts on the situation about AJ's son here.
Well, I'm very 50-50 with this because, I mean, I don't know what to make of it. Like, I'm just sitting here going, yeah, you could have handled this privately. You could have just, said nothing. Like, this could have been, handled privately, do whatever. But unfortunately, one wrestler just had to make it personal, had to make it, get out there. And then it's like all the media parasites just focus on it. They couldn't just, do it behind closed doors. Do I want to know everything like this? No, I don't, because quite honestly, I don't care. That's a you thing. So, I think this is just petty and very stupid, to be honest. I don't know what to make of it. Like, for me, it's just I'm scratching my head, and I don't know why it was brought up. I don't know why they wanted to do this or whatever. But yeah, that's just me. I'm more so baffled than anything.
All right, Tommy, you said you have something here.
Oh yeah, so then like everybody chimed in whose dad or mom's in the industry, and they're like, we already set up the effing chairs, so we got a new faction, the Nepo Baby faction. That's Rey Mysterio's daughter, Brian Pillman's son, AJ's son, and I don't really know the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know the one, the pink sweater, or the one, the black jacket on the far right.
Nepomania running wild, brother.
Nepomania.
the new Nepo order.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Nepo World Order. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Now, speaking of a son that has a legendary father, I feel like this kid was started as Nepo's son higher than when he broke off of his dad. He was improving, but when I mean they, I mean Triple H and TKO. They're shitting the bed with Dominic Mysterio.
Oh my god!
In my opinion, they had him right there. Like he was in with AJ Styles, with John Cena. Like he was being pushed as one of the top young guys on the show. So hang on here. I have.
Can I just say something real quickly? Oh no, I'll let you do your conspiracy first.
Okay, so this all started with Dominic around SummerSlam time. Openly was criticizing his creative that he gets while in America, but he puts over what Undertaker does with him in Mexico, in AAA there. And he doesn't understand when he comes back to America, WWE, he is getting what he's been given. He's starting to question a little bit more. And that's when he was starting to get a little more vocal about it. Now he's losing all of a sudden. He lost, at SummerSlam, he lost the night after. He lost, recently to Dragon Lee. And if my memory serves me correct, I see Eric's back here. To my understanding, Dominic has not won kayfabe-wise since late June. We're 2 months in, and this guy's just been killed. So this way, the article says here. So during the Self-Made Session podcast, the guys on that show revealed what Dominic has been hearing. Or what he's been hearing from Dominic. I'm sorry. And I quote, Dom thinks his creative sucks. He does not understand why the AAA version of his presentation doesn't correlate into the main roster TV. He doesn't get it. So, do you guys think they're using him correct at the moment, or do you think they're burying this kid and he's in the doghouse? And then I'm going to start with you, John.
Yeah, we were just watching him lose the other day, and it's. Yeah, I'm not really sure which direction they would be going with it because, Liv Morgan was just in the title scene, and he's like, they were like eating nuggies and shit on the side of the ring. And it seemed like he was pretty involved in that shit. And then I don't know. It's just kind of a nothing burger right now on his side of things. And you would think it'd be like a power couple kind of situation, but as usual, I think the nose might be thinking a little too, short range, I suppose, or just not be thinking of him right now at all.
All right, Hobo, let's go to you. Thoughts on Dominic Mysterio, and do you think he's in the doghouse right now?
Oh, it's pretty obvious he's in the doghouse. I mean, compared to a year before, where he was beating John Cena and then AJ Styles. What did he beat AJ Styles last year?
I think so, like on a Raw,
Yeah.
like was the IC champ.
So he was pretty much being the top guys, and he was on television a lot, and actually had more wins than he is now. Because I don't even remember the last time he won this year, to be honest. Damn, it's been a while. I noticed, and the fact that he's feuding with Danhausen of all people, that's not a good look.
Ay.
No, not you, Eric Hausen. You're cool. You're cool.
Oh, don't you disrespect the Danhausen.
You're a better Danhausen than Danhausen.
I'll tell Danhausen that. You will be Curse Master Hobo.
I'm a hobo. I'm already cursed enough.
Oh,
it can always be worse.
You got a point, Eric. Well, Eric, I got the spotlight on you. And your thoughts on Dominic, and do you think he's in the doghouse?
Oh, well, it's really simple. They're just like, all right, guys, listen, we can't afford this man's chicken nugget habit anymore. It's getting a bit expensive. We're going to have to start burying him a little bit so that we don't have reason to give him all these chicken nuggets. So things are a little difficult in the home of the Mysterios. Well, Mysterio.
Yeah,
Rey Mysterio's living his best life right now.
Oh, yeah, he's in the penthouse. Dominic Guerrero is scrapping for food and change at this point there.
Well, this is what happens when you're a fucking asshole to your dad. Jackass.
So you're so you're saying it's Dominic's fault that he's in the situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, has everyone just forgotten how he's been a blatant jackass for the last 5
Ray deserved it. Eddie's his real poppy.
Yeah.
Oh, for the love of God! Who raised him? Who raised him? Who raised
Eddie
him?
Guerrero.
Who fed him? Who put clothes on him?
Eddie.
He may have been your father.
Eddie was raising him from the fucking grave?
Yes.
In the words of
okay, I'm trying to understand why Father Bronson left now.
I got that reference, John.
Okay. Aina, your thoughts on the Dominic Mysterio situation?
Well, this is just very petty and vindictive behavior. Because, once upon a time, Dominic was on the rise. He is good. He's improved so much, and he's a great heel. I will say this about him. I'll give credit. He's worked very hard. He's gone away from that babyface crap to this top heel in the company, and he was looking good. And for God's sake, he was beating top players, and I kind of felt, okay, he's been built for the future. As soon as he kind of gives comments about his creative direction, it's like everything goes downhill. He's been losing now for the past 2 months. And yeah, he does have every right to be frustrated because he hasn't. Hey, I am not Charlie Brown. Stop that. Take that off now. No.
Look here, Buster. You lost an entire guest. You just be happy you're still allowed on the show.
Yeah,
You made our guest leave, Paladin.
That's your punishment.
Right. Okay. I'll take the rib. I'll take it.
I mean, you could be Charlie Brown the light if you want to.
I'll take it. Okay, it's on me.
Bastard.
Yeah. Thank you. So to continue my point, this is petty. This is petty bullshit. I'd only demote you if you did something very serious, if you did something very bad, like say backstage, or you were arrested for a DUI. Jey Uso, I'm looking at you. If you were caught doing very dangerous drugs or involved in domestic violence or whatever, I would punish you for that. You would be losing every single week until you learn your lesson. This right here is petty. This right here, just because he's expressing a bit of frustration with his creative direction and he has to get punished for it. That is an absolute joke. Come on. I've seen pettier stuff, but this takes the cake, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on. at least when Vince was in charge, there wasn't a huge issue like this. This wasn't a big problem. Okay, sometimes you could speak up about it, and he wasn't going to punish you for it.
Yeah.
But it's just like with Triple H, oh, he has to be the biggest vindictive asshole out there because, it's like, excuse me, I just have a problem with my creative direction. How about you shut up and now for the next 2 months you're going to lose and you're going to keep losing until I make you my bitch. That's how it is.
Triple H is going to be the next topic here. Monkey, let's give your thoughts here. So we're talking about how Dominic Mysterio, before SummerSlam, just to catch you up here, he was criticizing his creative when he will come back to America, to the WWE, but he was praising how he's being used by The Undertaker and Triple H. And he doesn't understand when he comes back to America, one creative is more lackluster than the other. So the conspiracy theory is he in the doghouse since he opened up his mouth? And do you think that they're using him poorly? So go ahead.
So Dom Mysterio?
Yes.
To be honest with you, God, I kind of gotta agree with Dom. Dom, now that he made a mention of it, Dom kind of fell off.
Yeah.
He had the run with Triple A. He still got that title, but he ain't doing it fucking title. He became a valet, basically like Liv. He's in squash matches whenever he is wrestling for WWE, and I really can't think of where they're going with him. Like I can't think of a feud right now to put him in, except for Ray, which we didn't even pull a trigger on Ray and him. Maybe they're building to that. I don't fucking know. I do agree though with Dom. He's incredibly underutilized in the WWE story right now. He just feels like he's
just there, like bland. Like kayfabe wise, he hasn't won a match since late June.
And honestly, Dom's not hard to fix, man. Like if you give him the Eddie Guerrero blueprint all over again, he lies, he cheats his way to the top. He steals the title. He lies, he cheats, he steals his way to the top. You can do that all over again. And I think I don't watch AAA. I can't really speak on Taker's booking, and that's the problem. Most people don't give a fuck about AAA. Like, let's be honest, the casuals don't care. They don't care about luchadors. They don't care about lucha libre. They don't get a pop when they come out in the Royal Rumble. They don't get a pop when they come out on Monday Night Raw. They don't get a pop when they come to the main shows. And I'm sorry, most people aren't familiar with them, like Mr. Iguana, no one gives a fuck, like, I'm sorry, bro. And like, Dirty Dom, look, he's definitely gotten a lot of opportunities, and maybe it's not as dark as we think. Maybe he asked, to be, I don't know why he would ask for this, but maybe he just needed a break. Maybe his body was going too hard and he's like, yo, I need to, like, calm down and, maybe be, slow my roll a little bit, because maybe he broke a rib. Maybe there's something we don't know. I don't know.
True.
That's
very
speculation. And it's just like, if I'm Avery Styles, I do want to go to the WWE because I see how they treat Dirty Dom in like the first couple years of his career. He was hot. He was hot, right? And so it's not really his fault that he fell off. I mean, then again, it could be, I don't know. What did he do? We're not insiders like that. All we can just do is like, go with the facts. And the facts are he did fall off. He did fall off, and yeah, unfortunately, we'll see what he does. If he drops the belt in AAA, like, it'll be less of a demotion and more of a promotion because hopefully he comes back to the main show.
Absolutely. Now the next one, I find this to be very interesting because right before we met Eric and Monkey, if you guys recall, we had a article from MVP when he was telling the story of him and Lashley and Shelton Benjamin for months. We're trying to have a conversation with Triple H about a contract extension and creative, and they couldn't get any time with him. Well, another wrestler has spoken up, Carlito. So I'm starting to notice a pattern here. So apparently, room in your window, WWE talent can allegedly spend weeks chasing Triple H just to get an answer. So Carlito, who was released last year, is pulling back the curtain on what it can actually take for a WWE wrestler to get an idea of her backstage. And according to him, speaking up sometimes means chasing writers and Triple H around for weeks just to get a simple yes or no. So Carlito was on the Inside the Ropes podcast recently, and he was asked about laid-back wrestlers sometimes being criticized for not pushing hard enough for themselves creatively. So this is what Carlito had to say. I remember a lot of times somebody said, "Oh, you didn't speak up." Well, the thing is, speaking up is going 1 week to, let's say, a writer. "Hey, I got this idea." "Oh, that's a good idea." "Okay, come back next week. What do you think?" "What was the idea?" "Oh, what was it again?" "Oh, talk to so-and-so." "Okay, now 3 weeks have gone by. Eventually, you get 100. You're like, "Yeah, what do you got?" "Yeah, let me see. Let me look into it." Don't you run the show? Like, who you got to talk to? Just tell me yes or no or whatever. That's speaking up. It's like, bro, I don't have that kind of energy. You know what I mean? If I tell you once or, at least twice, I don't have to be chasing you around. Call that lazy, call that whatever you want. It's just, that's not me. End quote. So the question is, what do you think about Carlito's description of WWE's creative process? Should wrestlers have to chase writers and Triple H for weeks to get an answer? Or is that simply part of fighting for your spot? Okay, when we talked about this last night, okay, now I was just saying, I'm starting to notice a pattern here. So if all the stuff we talked about on air, all of our shows, and off air, could we been all this time and all the stuff we talked about, could we been looking in the wrong direction? What I mean by that is maybe we're not looking deep enough. Maybe this might be one of the reasons why many of the men and women in WWE are not getting over, because they're constantly chasing, these chickens with their heads cut off to try to get their shit in or try to pitch and get involved, and they're being sent all over the place. And by the time they finally get to talk to somebody, it's too late. They already got something for them, and they just get, thrown in the confusion. And what I get out of this is WWE, in terms of backstage, is slowly becoming like WCW. And what was WCW known for? The Wild West. You can go, there's somebody that can go over somebody in terms of authority. And that's what I get out of this. Like, it's just now becoming an uncoordinated, unorganized clusterfuck. And I think this is also another reason why the creative is not only a piss poor, but many of the men and women can't get over it because of this shit. So, Eric, I wanted to go to you. Like, do you know anything about this, or what is your take on this, of what Carlito had to say?
What's the topic again? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
He was talking about how. Oh, anyway, he was talking. Goddamn, trying. He was talking about how wrestlers, it can take them weeks just to get to Triple H to talk creative and discuss an idea. And one writer say, "Come back next week." Then you wait next week. "Oh, what was it again? I'm sorry." "Oh, you gotta go to this person to talk to." "Oh, you gotta go to this person." "Oh, Triple H is ready. You gotta go talk to him."
Yeah, they're saying it took like 8 weeks to get a hold of Triple H.
Yeah. And this is not the first time someone said this. MVP talked about for months how him and Lashley and Benjamin were talking.
Not for nothing, but I remember a time where you had to get fucked in the ass by Vince McMahon to get an idea heard. So I think
I'm not seeing the negative here, Monkey. You get the privilege of that, you mean.
I am no pervert.
Like, I don't know why this sounds like some like soft shit to me, because what I heard you had to get done, what I heard you had to do to get fucking Vince McMahon to listen to you, bro, chasing Triple H sounds like a fucking picnic. All right, when you're having to fucking get fucking loaded with dildos to have a fucking 2-minute spot in a SmackDown on UPN, we call this shit an improvement. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
But at the same time, Monk, it should not take weeks to try to talk to someone up about an idea. It shouldn't take weeks. It should be
Vince. That was only with hot women.
Yeah,
if it's like a male dude, he's just gonna listen to him normally. And then also, like, it would be fine if he just said no, That's one thing. Like, because I was thinking like, oh, is you just saying no to what you're suggesting? Because then it's a situation where like I remember Undertaker saying how on Rogan he was talking about how he got in, he had to like literally sit in a waiting room for weeks and like I might have said months, where whenever he was in the Texas promotion and. It was well anyways the main promoter was like who is that guy, like after he saw him sitting out in the lobby basically for weeks or months on end, and every morning he would just be like, yes sir, I hope to get in contact with him, like the one janitor would ask him if he had gotten to talk to him yet. And it's like, so yeah, you gotta pay your dues in that way as far as like being persistent and everything. However, once you're in the company, give me a clear answer, yes or no. If you say no, that's one thing. That's easy. I'm not wasting my time then. But whenever you're just like, I don't know, I'll get back to you in a week. It's like, how busy are you, dude? Like, either say yes or no. Give a clear answer. Have clear communication.
Sometimes, and I know it's like it's tough to hear, and it's I guess tougher to communicate. 9 out of 10 times when someone asks a figurehead like that a question, and their major complaint is they never tell me yes or no. They just they don't know. They don't know.
Figure it out. Figure it out. Think. That's what you're paid to do is think.
Well, I can tell us an argument. Isn't their job supposed to know?
I think the hang up really is maybe they just communicate that you don't know. Like, hey, we haven't gotten that far yet. We haven't figured it out. I haven't talked to that writer yet. I don't actually know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with you. Give me a week. But like,
but to pose a counter, isn't their job to know though? They're hired to write shit out for them, so isn't that their job to know?
Yeah, but you would think. And I'm not making excuses. I'm kind of using my own experience in event coordinating to kind of answer this. So I might be talking out my ass. You would think injuries, sickness, someone can't make it, call outs. There's probably 1,000 things that fuck up a plan that was drawn on Monday before you get to Friday. So sometimes, I don't know, might actually be a valid answer. Like, something fucking blew up on Tuesday, and now I don't know what Friday is.
Hey,
now,
no doubt.
If this keeps happening over and over and over and over again in a company, that's indicative of another issue altogether. That's organizational problems, you know?
Well, and I think even given a clear timetable when you will be like, whenever you say I'll get back to you in a week, or like, don't talk to me about that until like 3 days before this event, okay? Like, you can be clear with people and like also say you don't know at the moment. Or like I'm not gonna know until this time or whatever. That's fine. A lot of times, because I've had bosses that do this where it's passive aggressive kind of, where you're like, I'm gonna need these days off 6 months from now, and then and they're like, all right, I'll get back to you, and then like 4 months you're like, hey, 4 months, I'm gonna need those days off, is that okay or not? Like, just let me know. And they're like, and then it gets up to the day and they're like, oh, well, it's so close now. It's like, I let you know a long time ago. now you're fucking me out. You pretended so that you could not give me the days off. Son of a bitch.
All right, Eric, I'm gonna go to you. Your thoughts on this situation?
It's a kind of a double-edged sword, honestly, just because I can understand where Monkey's coming from, but I can also understand where you guys are coming from as well. But the thing is that someone shouldn't be waiting 8 fucking weeks just to talk to somebody. That's not normal. So I'm kind of wondering what exactly caused the huge delay. I don't understand what possibly could have caused it, but it don't make sense to me in my mind, especially if they're now considered an entity of the WWE and WWE owns the company. Like, they should be able to talk to Triple H when they need to, especially if it's important.
Exactly. Back in the day, Vince McMahon, like, he was available to his roster. Didn't matter if you're upper card, mid card, lower card.
Oh, he was available, all right.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so jokes aside for a second, like, it didn't matter where you were on the card. If you had an idea, you go to Vince. If you're gonna talk about something, you go to Vince. Like, you can at least approach Vince or approach somebody in his inner circle that would get back to him. and it took
So
not
that
as long as the current stuff is. That's
that
what
is
I'm
an
thinking. And hey, hang on, monkey. I lost my train of thought to my
my bad,
ADHD.
my bad,
Hang on,
my bad, my bad.
hang on. Happened earlier. Fuck, now I lost it again because I can't remember now. That's twice now happened today. Okay, Hobo, I'll go to you and see if it'll come back.
Well, hold on. You were saying though.
I can't remember. I was going somewhere with it, and I now lost my train of thought.
Let's see. What was the topic again? Sorry, I was looking
Damn
through
it!
my
Everyone's
messages.
pulling a Chris today.
I'm looking through my messages. Okay.
Shout out to Chris. So basically, Carlito was talking about
Well, yeah, I
how
remember-
it
I
takes
remember now.
wrestlers a long time just to have a conversation with Triple H, and they get redirected to all these
Yeah,
people.
you were saying
Yeah.
Vince McMahon had something for his mid tier, his lower tier, and his upper card.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember where I was going.
Yeah, I know what you guys are talking about now because it just jogged my memory right now too. So, well, Carlito's right. Like, it's just WWE nowadays is just so unorganized compared to how it was back in the day. It was just more like there was more like planned out things back then compared to now. It just seems like everyone's just too busy with their own damn thing, or truthfully honest, like they don't really give a shit.
Well,
They
is it-
probably don't. They probably don't want to hear from the lower tier guys, unfortunately, which that sucks
Mm.
to hear because there's some good wrestlers down there, that we could use the help.
Yeah.
is it maybe like a delegation issue, you know?
Yeah.
Let me
Where
ask.
it's like,
Let me pose a question real quick then,
Mhm.
because we're all men here and we're all going to be talking about male wrestlers. Let me ask a question that, like, an honest, actual question. Do you think that it's better for the women now than it was then in terms of this specific issue that we're talking about?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say yes because they now have a female as one of their HR, one of talent relations. So yes, they now have someone in a higher role that they can go to.
Because that what I remember from, like, reading books and then just the documentaries from the 90s. One, Vince McMahon isn't as available as y'all think he is. Like, it is also tough to get Vince to answer simple questions. Vince just had a good way of saying, "I don't want to fucking talk to you right now." But when we talk about this, we're focusing on the men. But when I remember of the 90s with the women, they did not get fucking forget like getting ignored. They weren't allowed to ask the questions. If the moment they ask something crazy, they're barking like a dog in the middle of the fucking ring. So I think it's kind of like a give and take. Yeah, maybe things were a little bit easier for the male wrestlers to get communication back then, but that came at a huge cost to the women. Now I think it's at least balanced, you know?
Okay, now I remember before I have a stroke again.
Yeah, now there's both.
My memory.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, now I remember. Could this also be the issue? There's way too many cooks in the kitchen, like we talk about. Way too many writers, way too many people in charge.
Like
That's
this
why
show.
there's this fucking a carousel going around. So I think that's also an issue too. There's too many people that they can go to instead of a direct few that you have to go to. That's
See,
what now I remember.
Yeah, Brandon, I on that front and kind of the other end of that, if it's really like I got to go to Triple H to get all these answers, then he needs to learn to delegate better. If he's legitimately, this is giving him good faith and just saying he's legitimately just too busy to like deal with all these things. It's like, well, all right, then you got to get a guy to handle some of these things, and he can filter it out to get to you. With the important, like if somebody has a dumb fucking idea, then he handles it and he says no. Or if you know your boss and you say, he's not going to say yes to that. Maybe let's modify it. I'll get it to him, and then you have a designated time where you meet with him and you go, all right, what issues are coming from the mid-carders? What issues are coming from the women? What issues are, it sounds like they already have one that's delegated to that for the women's division. They also didn't really have much of a women's roster for a while, so I can see what it's kind of like. I don't know, having like the really lower tier like more available. I don't think one comes at the expense of the other. I think he probably just like didn't really treat it as a moneymaker back then, so he probably just didn't view it as something they needed to listen to.
Yeah, and if I can like expand on that, like we talk about guaranteed contracts and if that ruins people's hunger, but like I also heard Kevin Nash saying like on his podcast. I think it's called The Click or something, or Click This.
Yep.
Yeah, like this.
And
Called The Click.
so he was just basically saying like, yo, like that didn't make the business any better just because the wrestlers were getting fucked over. And he's kind of in it to his point. It's like, you know, guys deserve that money. They should be getting that money. And I know we're talking about just getting a hold of Vince McMahon, but then Monkey brought up the women's division, and yeah, things have improved, but quite frankly, now both of the rosters suffer from bad writing and bad booking, and I do think some of the Triple H hate is forced, and it is kind of like um it's just kind of a gimmick now that everybody shits on Triple H, but more people need to talk about the Pritchards and the Hayeses of the world, and the unsung, unnamed writers in that fucking room. Like a lot of those guys, I don't know what their job is because they're clearly not writing, and it's like. And like to what Monkey said, things can fuck up on Monday, and then you get to Friday, and you're not, things you got to switch things around. But that is why a good writer will come up with alternatives, and they'll always kind of have a pulse on the vibe. And I don't think it's a good thing that Triple H is hard to get a hold of, but he is a busy man. The dude's trying to do something in fucking Washington, DC, and I think he might need to fucking choose a career like pretty soon. He might need to fucking, give the reins over to someone else. And
Especially with his heart condition.
yeah, so like I don't know, it kind of seems like he's got his foot out the door a little bit, and so maybe it's time for him to step away, and like because I think he would be a lot more liked if he wasn't a booker. If he never became the booker, like we'd all still have a good memory of Triple H.
Yeah, if you stay away from the writers' rooms, I think that would be a good thing.
Is Eric still here? Is Eric still with us?
He's right here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
He's still alive. Yes.
Eric, is TKO in the writer room?
Yes.
There's your problem.
Yeah, I was just gonna say to add on to Tommy there, for a while until WrestleMania, when it got to the public, everyone, including us, thought it was just Triple H and his two teams. No. As I said many times on everyone's shows here, you have we have two cliques: TKO's clique and Triple H's clique. You have two cliques. They're constantly like fighting over each other. What creator does what, and you can tell what is what from each angle that you're seeing on TV. And that, in my opinion, hurts the product because you got two teams not on the same team with different visions, and you can tell like it's just not good. You need a team that's united and they have a goal, they have the same vision, not multiple directions.
I've got a hot take.
All right, take it away.
Triple H is an excellent promoter, and he's an excellent booker. Okay, and when it was just his writers' room, that was probably the best I had seen WWE in a couple of years.
Oh, 100%.
But when TKO got in the mix, everybody put that shit on Triple H because he's the face of the writer room. But I guarantee you, 10% of everything that's happened has Triple H's name on it. TKO fucked this shit way the fuck up because they're not wrestlers.
But that's also his responsibility. It's like you fucking let this happen, Triple H. You were, it was basically his company.
It's him and Nick Khan. Nick Khan fucked. Triple H is handcuffed. He's back in his position where he's handcuffed. So, and yes, because he's on the board, he does have some of that blame. But it's the board. Like Nick Khan has a lot to blame too.
Yeah, I agree. That's why everybody. It's a group effort fuck up, and that's why people are pissed.
I think it doesn't help that Triple H, and this doesn't help people that go after his ego. He does put his name on the credits. That's a fact, and that does not help at all, in my opinion. I think that just adds more criticisms, like more freely.
I find the credit shit to be really cringe. I do not like that they do that.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I don't like when people do that with their fucking Instagram posts. They put a little watermark like, at blah blah blah. Like anyone's gonna fucking remember your little fucking rinky dink X237 football edits. Like shut the fuck. Like I hate when people do that in general, and so I agree it is cringe.
And also, if I'm using that to that point, Tommy, then I'm just gonna crop that shit out.
No, but also it's not good for the algorithm. The algorithm likes it if there's no copyright, if there's no like made by, or if you're not crediting like at in the video. You could do it in the description like at WWE if it's their shit.
Right.
But like they usually don't like if you put a watermark on it. Like,
Yeah. And there's one that I want to add on. Then we'll go to the last topic here. Okay, so everyone, before we met Monkey and Eric, do you guys remember that conversation on Irish Whips right after Elimination Chamber, after Danhausen debut? Maybe it's not all Triple H, which is not. Now we know. Does he deserve some of the blame? Absolutely, he does. But know who should get more of the blame? Is those two teams. The people on those teams are bringing the shit to him. Yes, Triple H does approve and deny it, but it's these other jack-offs that are bringing the shit to Triple H. So, in my opinion, they should get more of the blame than Triple H and TKO. But yes, he deserves some. Don't get me wrong.
Triple H is the famous one though. That's if we knew the other guys, we'd be talking about. See, no one knows Brian Gerwitz, but
So Brian Gerwitz,
I know who he is because I'm a
you know what fucks it all up is we're not in the TKO era. We're not in we're in the Paul Levesque era. So it doesn't matter what he does or doesn't do. Everything's gonna get blamed on the Paul Levesque era.
Mm-hmm.
That was
and that's because the credits, and that's why the credits does not help him.
Mm-hmm.
He was never good in the first place, anyways. But TKO and him together are just a terrible combination.
I agree. And speaking of, I went off last time, this guy. So unfortunately, Eric, we got to talk about a jack off here. Actually, I got the perfect sound cue.
Oh, I saw this shit.
This is the man that you share a name with. And I made a confession last night in the show. I almost hate this guy more than I hate Dave Meltzer. I am almost at that point where I'm bumping Meltzer down. So anyway, Eric Jackoff is telling fans complain about WWE ticket prices to get an extra job.
Bro, is this Sony PS3 release again? Whenever they were like, get a second job to afford it?
Yeah. So, speaking on his 83 Weeks podcast, by the way, Bishop, that's why you're only irrelevant because you're 83 weeks. So he was discussing WWE's growing focus on turning major PLEs into entire destination weekends rather than standalone wrestling shows. In his view, fans traveling for events like WrestleMania or SummerSlam aren't simply paying for a few hours inside an arena anymore. So Eric Jackoff had this to say. You're not experiencing just a PLE. And I think that's where entertainment in general is going. Not just wrestling, not just WWE, but I think entertainment in general is going in that direction. And I think it's great. Then it's where he starts going after people about the ticket complaints. You're always going to have people complain about the price of the tickets, but tough. Get an extra job, save some money up, quit drinking, 3 packs of Mountain Dew during the week and throw a couple bucks in the jar and you'll be able to afford to go wherever. But I think the overall fan experience is what they're focusing on. And I think they're doing it smart. I'm going to stop there before I develop AIDS reading these guys' stuff.
At what point is the cutoff for that sort of mentality, though? This is the same shit with GTA. They're like, well, we took so long to make it. You should pay more. It's like, well, you weren't spending all that time making it, assholes. And also, you've made money during that time.
You have to draw a line in the sand. Gamer friends, hear me if you like WWE 2K. Stop fucking buying it. If you like fucking NBA 2K, stop fucking buying it. If you like Madden, stop fucking buying it. If you want games to fucking ever, stop fucking the inflation. Don't buy Grand Theft Auto at a fucking $200. You have to draw a fucking line in the sand.
I feel like GTA gets a lot of heat because they're the popular kid. Like if GTA sucked, nobody would give them heat. And it's like, games like 2K and Madden and the industry in general have been overpricing games. And I think, I'm part of the problem, I do buy those games. So like, but what are you gonna do? What now? I do buy it. What now? What are you gonna do? Like, I'm part of the problem, and a million other people are part of the problem.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna be the first ones to shit on it, if GTA sucks, I'll fucking shit on it, and I will give you a good review about it.
Same here.
But it's not just about the quality
Yeah,
of
I
the
do.
thing. It's also the bad precedent that they set because they know they have a brand name that'll just sell regardless. So they're like, oh, great. People are going to buy this shit no matter what.
But
Let's
everybody
fuck 'em
else
this way,
does it.
this way, this way. No, they do it worse than because $80 base was not the thing. And then $100 for the full game, which it was one of the most blatant things. But like, as far as wrestling goes, and like a live event attendance, it fucks you over to have shit expensive anyway, because then you get less passionate fans. You get people that are just rich people. They're just, and this happens at NBA games too now, where it used to be like courtside, you had the passionate fans, you had some celebrities, but they were celebrities that always went to basketball, like Spike Lee, like Jack Nicholson. What you get less live, and especially at wrestling, where the audience is such a big part of it, you want passionate, normal people there, like normal fans. You don't want these like rich, uppity people that are like sitting there like, oh, I'm going to film on my phone for my followers now.
High society.
And in the Vince McMahon era, it was family friendly. Like the tickets, you could bring a family of 4, maybe even 8. Like if those tickets were cheap, and if you had a couple $1,000, it would fucking mean something. Versus now, a couple $1,000 gets you nosebleeds.
I also got another hot gaming take. I know it's a little off topic, but I'll forget it. I'll forget it otherwise. WWE 2K does not need to be a fucking annual game, and the fact that you guys buy that shit annually is insane. That is not, you're falling
That
for the
topic on
magic.
its own here. But I want to get to the Eric thing here. The Eric pissed off some comments here. So I like how he's telling, "Oh, get an extra job." Okay, Eric, you got all this money. How about you do something for the fans? How about you buy tickets for the fans and do a lottery draft and give them away? Since you're talking all this big shot shit here to people.
Because he's a promoter, he has the American wrestling promotion, and like, of course, he wants ticket prices to go up because that means he gets to raise his prices. Man.
And this guy is trying so hard to kiss ass so he can worm his way back to the WWE. It is blatant and it's almost embarrassing. Eric, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Eric.
And someone just nominated him for the Hall of Fame, bro. Did you hear about that?
Who, Bischoff?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, somebody gave him a worthy, like somebody in the higher ups was like, he should be a Hall of Famer.
Regardless how I feel about this guy as a person, as a personality, and what he's done for the business, yes, he deserves to go in there without a shadow of a doubt. I would not deny that. But
he's wrong.
Eric is trying to not Eric, of course, but piss off that Eric. He's trying so hard to get back into WWE because he's not really going anywhere being Conrad's lackey, and that's what he is. He's Conrad's lackey for the last handful of years. That's all he is since later years. And oh, by the way, Eric, there's this thing called life, and what does life include? Bills. You gotta pay for utilities. You gotta pay for gas. You gotta buy food. So there's a lot of stuff people gotta buy so they can live. So maybe due to how lovely our economy is in both our respective countries, not everyone has the luxury to save money to go to these events. But you got money. How about you buy tickets and do a lottery draft?
And
You're
with
talking
that,
all this big. How about you do something about it? But no, you just want to say that to get back in the WWE and be an ass kisser like you've been becoming the last handful of years. So Eric Bischoff, shut the fuck up. Do what you do best. Selling cheeseburger, that's not taking a shit. Keep kissing ass. Keep being a lackey to Conrad, and shut the fuck up. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing your fucking legacy. You're embarrassing your family. You're embarrassing the people that are associated with you. Like, just have a joint. Get a blowjob. Get a blumpkin. Do something. I don't give a fuck. But stay off the internet. Fuck. Hate this guy. Okay, where's that comment, that final boss? Yes. Okay. I am this close. Yes, everyone here knows I despise Meltzer. Meltzer is a cunt. And I hate what he's done to the business, and I hate what he represents. But the guy that sounds like this, he's this close to become my number one hatred. Ask along in the wrestling world. I know every Friday we do fuck Dave Meltzer. I'm gonna do fuck Eric Bischoff as well. I'm not even that there. Okay, my Jim Cornette runs over. Okay, now to our Eric. That's actually cool, and I guess pussy, something Bischoff does not get anymore. What are your thoughts on pissed off? They're saying that fans should get an extra job and put money in the jar to go to events.
Huh? What the fuck kind of logic are you using here, my guy? What math are you using currently? What country do you think we currently live in? We live in the United fucking States. Do you understand that we're in one of the worst economy crises in God knows how long? I mean, not trying to fucking get political here. But if dumbass Biden back in 2020 wasn't all like, we should close the oil drills in the U.S., then we wouldn't be dealing right now with, oh shit, we're not getting gas from Hormuz. Bombs away, boing. And that's the reason why fucking gas is almost $5 a goddamn gallon.
And that affects everything.
Sorry, I just had I had to go to Cleveland and back, and gas sucks.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time though, like, where the fuck does this guy get off saying like, oh well, if you really want to go to WWE shows, go out and get a second job? Motherfucker, with what time? With what fucking time?
Exactly.
There are people in this country that have full-fledged families, and they're already working 50, 60 hours a week. So what, you want them to topple on another 30 hours on top of that? Yep. How about instead, WWE stops raping us out the ass for tickets?
And
I don't want to pay fucking $500 for nosebleeds.
It's partially on the consumer, though, because there is JCW. There are alternatives, and it's the same with any type of entertainment or anything. The minute you start like being way too loyal to a brand or an IP or whatever, that's when they start fucking you, because they think you're a guaranteed audience. They can charge as much as they want. They can put out whatever quality product they want. They're going to make things cheaper. They're going to try and milk you. And the thing is, they make a house of cards for themselves that's going to collapse when the consumer is actually like discerning. When you're instead of like, oh, I gotta go to WWE because that's the thing to do, or I gotta get the GTA because it's the big franchise. It's like you gotta like hold the company accountable. Be like, no, you got competition that's doing just as good of a job as you. So why don't you fuck off with trying to fuck me over? You know?
Exactly. And they learned that the hard way this year at SummerSlam. Because this year at SummerSlam, I think they sold like 20,000 less than last year.
It reaches a breaking point for sure.
Yep.
And you know, people said for years Star Wars is too big to fail. They can do whatever they want. And then they just had a movie bomb because they took it for granted. You take your audience for granted, it will eventually catch up with you. It may take years.
Well, that's also because Disney sucks.
Well, yes.
Very true. And to add on to that, Eric, this was the first WWE PLE. You know how they always announce the attendance figure? They never announced the attendance figure on each night as SummerSlam.
Yeah, because they fucking didn't want to.
Tell you. Yeah, because they always sold out. Night one, yes. Granted, night one sold more than night two. That is without a doubt. It did. Night two did worse. Like, probably arguably worse than the Bischoff's sex life. Probably. Like, it did really bad.
Well, Brandon, the more vague a company gets with their numbers, you know it's the worst they're doing. I mean, I know I keep coming back to game, but this is just another example. Like Xbox used to give monthly sales by territory when they were winning in North America. Ever since they started losing over 10 years ago, they're like, well, it's more about like the active users, and here's our there were 6 billion bullets fired in this. It's like the more vague a company gets, you know that they're doing worse because they get more and more secretive, or people, you know, or you pay very close attention to wording in these financial reports, because people are always like, oh, they can't lie in a financial report. It's like, no, but they can be very specific wording, and they will be more vague about things, or they'll narrow the field to a certain thing. They'll be like, well, you know, just like Sony recently wanted to say, oh, people are all buying digital. They're like, well, on new game purchases, it's 90-10. It's like, well, that's counting the $5 digital game. All right, so that's, you're equating that to a $70 thing. Like in WWE, you'll be like, you know, oh, we gave out this many tickets, so we sold out or something. It's like, so, you know, WWE might start being like, oh, we made this much money instead of this many people attended. You know, so pay attention for that, because they don't lie in the financial reports. It's not a legally like hurting lie, but they can definitely disguise bad numbers.
Yeah, they can definitely work around it here. Hobo, I want to go to you next. Spell Bischoff's comment about fans. We should get a second job and put money in a jar.
This is the guy who isn't hurting for money, obviously. So
Is
he
that
wouldn't.
Bischoff?
Wait, what? My
Your
picture?
I don't know
picture.
why, but now I'm
Don't
just
you?
picturing him being like, my father will be happy to send me over to whatever PLE they are in, and I will be staying in the finest condominiums.
He's eating caviar with a
On their
monocle.
charge, never like he did in TNA. On their own charge. WWE's got to pay for it, not him. Don't forget
Yep.
that.
Yeah, notice
Yep.
like when he's in charge of someone else's money, he sucks with it. Like look what he
Yeah.
did with WCW.
He literally
He's a good
will.
example
He
of
will
that.
suck them every time he's in charge of somebody's money. He sucks them dry.
Yeah, he has no self control or discipline at all to handle. And also, like that's kind of hypocritical that he's trying to preach to us when we've seen what he's done with other companies' money on their
Right.
dime. It just
TNA.
there's a reason why he's called Eric Jerkoff. Because that's what he does. He kisses his ass all the time. That's how he gets to his position of power.
And he jerks man off too.
Hey, I heard something about being sucked dry. Is there anybody around here? Trish, where are you? I'm in the mental ward.
I'm right here. I'm right here. What's up?
Oh my god.
All right, Maina, let's go to your thoughts on the constipation, man. Telling fans to get a second job and put money in the jar to go to WWE
His
PLEs.
name's Charlie Brown, by the way.
Oh, my bad. Charlie Brown. Fuck, I broke. Okay, I got to keep kayfabe here. So, Charlie Brown, can you unmute your mic there? Put Snoopy to the side there. Make sure you don't kick the football.
You're never going to live this down, are you? Anyway, joking aside. Bischoff, who the hell do you think you are? Why are you taking shots at the blue collar worker, who I'm very sure a lot of people that work here, like Eric, like John, they work their asses off day in, day out, and they put in the effort and they give it all they've got. They give it 110%. But what you fail to realize is that they have families to feed. They have themselves to feed. They got utilities. They got electricity. They could have gas. They could have, they could have oil that they need. There's a lot of things that they have to take care of before they can even consider a small little luxury item. And have you looked at tickets here, Eric? Or aka Eric Jerkoff, as I tried to call you on my podcast. It's just he is so out of touch with reality. And this is the same guy who could not even control WCW. This is the same idiot who let it become the Wild Wild West. He stopped being a boss. He became one of the boys. What did that get him? He got shut down. Vince bought him out. And the rest is history. Gone just like that.
Yeah, man.
He knows nothing about the common worker. He doesn't. He knows nothing. He's not in the real world. I'm pretty sure Eric and John could tell him all about it, how hard they work, how much effort they have to put in day and day out.
Same here. I don't think he's ever done that.
No. And your economy's in tough shape right now in the United States, and the economy here in Ireland, it isn't great. Things are hectic here, and he expects me to have this magical pot of gold that I could just, go over and buy a SummerSlam ticket. No, it doesn't work that way, Eric. Yeah. What logic are you using here? Your math ain't mathing right now. Because I was like, when I was reading this out, I'm like, my God, you're so stupid and so clueless. I mean, obviously, yeah, you're trying to suck some WWE dick so you can get a job and get a bit of that money, bitch.
Mr. Brown, I got to remind you that for 83 weeks back in the 90s, I beat Vince McMahon, and really none of it going bad was my fault. It was all these guys that helped me. I mean, they didn't help me succeed. I succeeded on my own. They screwed it all up though. This Russo
Go suck some dick, Bischoff.
Well, I'll do that. I'll do it for $6 because then I can save that up for my next WWE show. Please, Triple H, if you're listening, please sign me.
Yeah, and if I can go, jokes aside for a minute.
I gotta give John that.
Just finish up my point. I'll just get the last word in. But yeah, Vince did cater to the blue collar worker. he always had when he was in charge. Family-friendly tickets and able to get some good stuff. And I made the suggestion that they should have just had SummerSlam at the Target Center in Minneapolis. They would have sold it out. Because that's where SummerSlam 1999 was, in the Target Center. Again, they can't go for big venues anymore. They need to think going to a place like the Target Center, the Staples Center, maybe the Gundam Arena, the Pepsi Arena. You know, places like if Freedom Hall is still around, go there. You know, they can't do big venues. They just can't.
Yeah, because the product's not hot enough to even sell it
Mhm.
out. All right, Tommy,
Yeah.
go to you.
Yeah, so like this was almost as bad as like I think it was Romney saying like, "Oh, if you don't have money, just ask your parents for money." That's what I did.
Yeah,
You
ask
know,
for $5,000.
yeah, so it's like not all of us have daddy's money or mommy's money, and unfortunately, a lot of people are independent, and this economy, unfortunately, people are struggling to survive, and it's like this guy's super out of touch, and we live in a capitalistic society, and transactional relationships. Of course, he wants this to fucking happen because it's good for business and his money, his pocket's gonna get fatter. All of ours are gonna get lighter. So, of course, he's not looking out for the common man. And of course, he's gonna shit on everybody and say that we're spending our money on drugs and alcohol and all this degenerate shit. But it's like they're not gonna act like they're so high and mighty that they don't spend money on bullshit. Especially the more you have, the more you're gonna spend on bullshit. And I think this guy has been spending his money so long that he's fried a couple brain cells along the way. And yeah, I'll leave it at that.
But Tommy, it's like investor thinking because it's short term thinking. We're gonna get more and more money from fewer and fewer people. It looks good temporarily, and then long term, eventually the floor falls out because you
Yeah,
get
you're
less popular enough that
75 to 85% of the audience is outpriced now. You know.
yeah, so it will fall out eventually on them because you're gonna reach that point where for the common person, for a while they'll stretch thinner and thinner because they want to still be involved in the thing that they have a sunk cost kind of fallacy in. I've been watching WWE since I was a kid. I gotta just put together a little bit more. But and then it's like, well, I can't do it anymore, so I'm just gonna go over to JCW or whatever. You know, I like literally it's impossible for me at this point. So screw it. It's just like you can only get kicked around so much.
Yeah, like I told this, you all the story. Like when I was in Dallas, they wanted $5,000 for 5 tickets, and that's for the cheap seats for Raw. $5,000. But yeah,
That
Bishop,
doesn't include
I have $5,000. I can just
that
blow
doesn't
5K.
include your hotel, your food,
Flight.
gas, flight, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
your
they
house
can
is
they
for
can
that.
air. You got this money, man. Buy some tickets. Do a lottery draft. But no, you're not sure. You're a broke ass bitch. Online. Fuck Eric Bischoff. That is it, everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, we did for the first half get some of that red love. Charlie Brown, unfortunately, said the wrong thing, and
Yeah,
we
Red
got
Love
black-
aged
ruined it.
Tommy rapidly.
yeah, it aged rapidly, and we got black love instead. So hopefully, we don't get our throats slit in our sleep. Hopefully, he'll forgive us. So we'll go around, give her a plug. So, Ana, we'll go to you first, since you have the charity organization you're a part of. You want to promote. We'll go to you.
Absolutely. Now, well, I would love if this kind of became a staple of Irish Whips and Arm Drags, and as well as my podcast. So I'm happy to say that I'm part of a charity organization here in Ireland known as Autism Akara, which is Autism My Friend. And the name of the goal of the organization is to help people on the spectrum become more independent, make life choices, and give them the support that they need. As a client who's been with them 9 years, they're doing great work with me, working on like things like independent living, cooking, or if I had trouble with cleaning, or things that I might find difficult. They've been very supportive, and we draw up a lot of like support plans, and there's so much involved. And the people that I work with are fantastic. We have a great staff, and the other users, you know, all they want to do is to just work their way into the community and just be a part of the community. And that's what every one of them wants to be. And So a big shout out to all the staff at my local center and, of course, all the other service users. And as for myself, you can find me on twitch.tv/the Paladin of the Light. You can follow me on X at RealPaladin1991, where the Holy Soldiers podcast are both simulcast on Twitch and X. Follow me on Instagram at the Paladin of the Light, and hopefully in the future we can get more sites added for streaming. Definitely next week I'll be doing some gaming streams. Finally, I got the two. I got the two mics set up. Thank Christ. I've been contemplating which should I start first, with a Dragon Quest game, or I was kind of thinking of doing one or the other. But yeah, that's myself. Oh, but of course Tiffany gets the last word.
Subscribe to the Holy Soldiers podcast.
You owe a big thank you to Tommy for that. You owe a big
that's so much, Tommy. I appreciate that.
I didn't make that. I disavow any creation of that. That was all Paladin.
I'm going next. All right, Hobo, I'm gonna go to you next. But I'm gonna let you know I want that Bischoff topic is gonna be one of our topics for next Wednesday. I'm gonna give you a heads up. So go ahead and plug.
Okay. Well, you can find me on X, Rumble, Instagram, YouTube under my name, The Master Hobo, and you can find me on the Holy Soldiers podcast and Irish Whips whenever I can make it. And of course, you can find me on the Mr. Burger channel on pretty much every show, because I'm the best damn producer there ever was. And of course, on my own show, which is Suplexes and Headlocks, I think this week Tommy's going to be our guest. So if you can make it, right?
Yeah, it'd be 10:30.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, it's this Wednesday at 9:30 Central Standard Time. There's probably, I'm actually looking forward to that because it's cool to have different guests now. So we just had Chris last week. That was fun. So check us out there. Oh, we have a new show coming out soon. By the way, I forgot that we got the GCW pregame show coming up soon in September. That's gonna be fun.
That's coming very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Very soon.
Yeah.
All right, John, we're gonna go to you.
Yep, just John Gets Gaming. It's the same as the YouTube channel. And then we got John_Gets over on Rumble, which is the other place that I stream to, if you're not as much of a fan of CommyTube. And then and basically we do a lot of gaming. We get, as the name suggests, and then we also do some Star Wars book reviews. We do some random little bits with media and everything. And you know, everyone, if I'm not caught in another recording, as happened this Friday, I like to stop by Paladin's show as well.
Hell yeah! All right, Eric, my friend, give us your shit. I know I'm number one. And fuck Dave Meltzer.
All right, so don't follow me. Well, if you want to, follow me at ELGO213 or EGMA0213. Give me some business. I could use it because, as we've stated, the economy sucks. Go follow my podcast at Respect to Combat on all social media platforms. Also, respecttocombat.com. We do weekly episodes every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, as well as interviews usually between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Friday night. Make sure you're following NWA. Make sure you're following JCW. Make sure you're following Exodus Pro Wrestling, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling, Pure Vanguard Wrestling. Follow all the wrestling. Be supportive of professional wrestling.
Your OnlyFans, Eric. You're coming out with the OnlyFans. That's right.
What? No, that's Monkey that's coming out with the OnlyFans.
Oh, okay.
Way OnlyFans.
Don't forget the new wrestling podcast, also Tombstones and Hurricane Ranas.
Oh yeah, right. No, it's not, no, it's Canadian Destroyers and 630 Centons. All right, get it right.
And don't forget, guys, Eric needs some money. He's a whore. Hook him up, guys. The whore needs money. I'm trying to help you, buddy. I'm trying to help you.
And don't help him put away chairs. He hates that shit.
Yeah. Don't be like Eric said. Don't ask to follow him. Don't ask him to set up the ring. Don't give him a broom. He'll just shove up your ass and tell you go fuck yourself.
Who the fuck do I look like? Avery Styles?
In fact, hit him with the chair. He likes practice for taking chair shots.
He likes PTE. That's what he loves very much.
Oh yeah, guys. I'm yeah, of course. All right, guys. I'm trying not to laugh. That was actually pretty funny. Patreon.com/Russo TWC. Myself, and I guess now Tommy, and the rest of the front line are there once a month, castrating the dirt sheet clowns that deserve it. Fuck Dave Meltzer, fuck Denise Salcedo. I'm gonna give those two on my system, and fuck the raccoon Sean Sapp. And you can find me on X, Instagram, and YouTube at Catman580 if you want to check out my content and give me a like. As for shows, every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Central on the Mr. Burger Network on YouTube, Suplex and Headlocks with Hobo Chris, and Tommy's going to be there with us this Wednesday. Every Friday around 5 p.m. Central-ish, whenever we can get on. X and Twitch on the Holy Soldiers podcast, and normally for today, Saturdays, 12 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. on the East Coast, Irish Whips and Arm Drags. And don't forget, JCW Lunacy, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and get ready. Jay gave instructions to Vince, more controversy. Get ready. That's all I got to say.
Bloody Mania coming up.
All right,
Yeah,
Tommy,
Bloody Mania is on the way. Make sure you tune in to JCW on Thursday. What time is it, Brendan? 7 p.m.
Okay, so Bloody Mania. So for Americans, they have YouTube TV. That's how you can watch it. For the rest of the world, go to jcwlunacy.net and you can buy and watch the pay-per-view on the website. So that'll be 12 p.m. Midnight Eastern Time. That's what it says on the site. So 12 p.m. So 12 midnight Eastern Time is Bloody Mania on Friday the 21st. And that Lunacy the night prior will be at 10 p.m. Central.
Okay, so with that being said, also just support independent wrestling in general. You know, like Eric said, NWA, Exodus with EC3. You know, there's a lot of guys doing some cool things right now, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to fucking see some good wrestling.
Yeah, bitch.
And yeah, man, you can follow me at Irish Whips on X/Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram at Irish Whips Arm Drags. You can follow us on YouTube at Irish Whips and Arm Drags. And you know, you can find me on all of these guys, either chat or, you know, stream. Sometimes I do the Holy Soldiers podcast, depending on if I'm awake, to be honest, you know. And then sometimes I do Eric's podcast if I'm up early, because I know that's an early show sometimes, and I can't always make it. And I'm always in John's chat, always watching him game, and, you know, be a washed gamer, total unk. He can't game at all.
Damn.
And yeah, man, you already know who gets the last word around here, man. All right, as much as Tiffany, you know, Tiffany is cool and all, but this is the OG, bro.
Subscribe to Irish Whips and Arm Drags.
I have gotten better though, because that does not look as good as the new one. So maybe I have.
That's very good. We might have to update it a little bit. And we also want to give a
One
shout out
for
to
you.
Father Bronson for coming on for a little bit with us. And we do apologize for being late. StreamYard was having issues where he couldn't hear us, so we had to restart the room and wait. But thank you, Father Bronson, for coming on and entertaining us.
Yeah, that was StreamYard's fault. You know, we had a little connection issue. We started like 15 minutes late. Ended sooner than we expected because he needed to, you know, bury the bodies or something. So, and Paladin's a fucking asshole, and he's not good with people.
Lock your doors tonight, Paladin. He might be on his way to Ireland.
Yeah, you're fucked. Like we thought Eric was fucked with Vito. You're fucked with Red Love.
Oh man,
You'll find a way.
Love is going after
I at least got Vito back on my good side. I don't know what Paladin's gonna have to do to get.
Maybe I could say that what if I could make some light red with my light, you know?
You could be the Paladin of the good love.
Yeah,
there you go. That's not a bad gimmick.
The Paladin of the love. Well,
I feel like that might piss him off more.
No, we're trying to get ratings here.
No, because then he'll be like, first you asked me if I feel threatened, now you're trying to steal my gimmick.
Yeah, it's gimmick infringement, bro. Maybe he'll fucking see.
Yeah, maybe right, because I at least want to see you live. All right, that's it, everybody. Thank you for checking the show out, and we'll see y'all same bat time, same.